Okay, welcome to our next game of D&D. It is session number 128, or Phase 3, Season 2, Episode 20. We are up to the second day of the 6th month of the year 1011, which is level 12. And it is late at night as the party is currently in the process of obtaining a relic from the library. Unlike Indiana Jones, they're not returning it to the library, they're walking off with it.
Okay, alright.
So, at the table today we have Gary.
Hi, I am playing Anton Chigur, who is a Trelladaran warlock, alienist archetype if you're interested in that sort of thing. And currently, how would you say it? Dealing with the fact that his whole world view and knowledge of the world is completely upset at the moment, and doesn't have confidence in anything he thought he knew or believed, yeah.
At least now he knows who his sponsor is.
Existential crisis, yes. What?
At least now he knows who's his sponsor is. And why his sponsor's been so happy with being completely hands off.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I know, but yeah, sort of questioning everything I'm doing at the moment. But in questioning what I'm doing, I'm just following the existing path because I don't know what the alternative is.
Well, the alternative is you could sign up fully and become the next Dread Knight of the city.
I do not see myself as that person, or at least I believed I wasn't that person.
Someone wants to do their introduction. Sorry.
Oh,
I'm laughing because Martin's laughing.
Calcrix is keen here, so I'll hand over to Calcrix.
Sorry, no, please. He's just laughing. I couldn't help it. I'm trying not to laugh at him laughing. Just a second. Oh. Is he in shot?
Here we go, he's in shot now.
Hello. It's not a spear. It's a teachy pointy thing. Right?
He's actually quite likes a chat with this guy. He loves a chat.
I'm Calcrix, the White Dragon with the jazz wings. Well, actually, no. Technically, I am not a white dragon anymore.
Silver, aren't you?
I am a silver, black and sapphire dragon. Metallic. I am no longer a pleb who takes orders from everyone. I am now a pleb who only takes orders from people who are crystal?
Well, technically,
and above.
Metallics of higher rank.
Okay, alright. Okay, so who do I take orders from, if anyone?
Basically those who currently rule over the dragons, and you'd be the one telling the other dragons what to do.
Oh, I see. So now, Calcrix is Miss Bossy Boots.
Well, Calcrix, I haven't seen you take any orders yet, so I think this is just growing into the role.
She's taking suggestions, but not orders.
Having run in two parties for a number of years now, Calcrix technically takes instruction from Redrian, the Queen of Darkness, and 3 different dragons.
Okay.
One of them being her brother, one of them being Drazzle, also her brother, and then another one of them being her father, Bahamut, and then another one. What's the other one? So you got the great one, the old one, Io,
Io, which is the parent of
Granddad.
Yeah.
So Granddad, Dad, brother. Basically, her whole family.
I didn't realise Drazzle was your brother.
Yeah, Drazzle's
blue though.
So Drazzle and Calcrix were born in the same nest of 5 eggs.
Okay.
In those 5 eggs, there was the Great One, who's now God, Drazzle, Calcrix, the Kobold Shiny One, God, and I know who the 5th one is. I should know who my siblings are. There's a fifth one. Yeah. It's the one.
The forgotten one.
It's like any family where there's more than 2 kids. There's at least a middle child that keeps getting forgotten. I'll look it up in my book
middle
later.
Child, yeah.
Martin probably knows which one the fifth one is.
Not off the top of my head, it's been a while.
Look, even the GM's forgotten about them.
I'm a middle child too, black sheep of the family.
I have a feeling this dragon's...
I do know.
Yeah?
It's Bradshaw.
Yeah, that works. Okay. At least until the forgotten middle child takes offence and obliterates us all in revenge.
That's okay. I'm sure Bradshaw's happy to step up and do the job now that he's been named the 5th child.
Only in the introductions, not in the actual game. I say this to protect Bradshaw, not anyone else.
I've got protection. I have a wife.
Oh, well, your wife's going to protect you, then Calcris is going to hide behind her too.
A wife and their assassin family. Okay.
Calcrix has a companion called Eep, who appears as a tiny, what I like to call a Saracenia, and everyone's like, a what now? A tulip. Tulip? No, not tulip. It's a plant, basically, a carnivorous plant. One day I'll get a drawing of her. I'm currently drafting a meek email to my artist to see if he'll condescend to go so far as drawing a couple of characters, and see whether or not I can actually get a visualization of Eep. But until then, she's Fey Dark, so she's blacks and greys generally in colour, but she speaks through colours for the most part. She did learn a few phrases. So far to Calcrix's patient education, though, she's not gone beyond, by God, death to the Infidels, and what was it? Queen of the Burn, Mistress of the Burn, which is Chauvel's nickname from her followers when she followed Ixion. Don't know what she'll be called now. Maybe Eep will learn a new phrase.
Isn't that what we're calling her now?
Technically, when she kills someone, she drains out their soul, and I think she consumes it. I don't know what kind of...
There's a growing undead theme happening here.
There is, but technically Zal is a necromancer.
Yeah, no, Zal's a necromancer.
And now you serve Mr.
Got a necromancy.
Horns.
I do not serve.
Yeah. Anyway,
your service is creating chaos. You serve.
That's Calcrix.
Online today we have Mark.
Bradshaw.
Hi, my name's Mark. I play Bradshaw Dugan, the greatest dwarven fighter of these lands, and with his wife Rose, the greatest assassin of these lands.
It does help that you're the only dwarven fighter associated with your lands, as all the other dwarves have gone back to Rockholm.
That's why I said I'm the only dwarf, the greatest fighter of the land. We're not talking about underground, we're talking about above ground.
We don't need detail. We can live with the greatest in the land.
So he's hoping today to do a catch up with his wife through his sending zone that they both have. So
I feel like this is a request to the GM in what's that, indirect request.
And I'm keen to teach Caltrax a few things about dwarven culture if she's up for it. So.
Calcrix wants to learn everything.
Yeah. So, but yeah, Bradshaw was in a quite happy mood because he knows it's the day to talk to his wife through a setting stone. He's got it written down on his arm every so often. Yeah.
So does that mean that once a year it's correct?
No, if it was once a year that Bradshaw wouldn't be alive. So, but he does a kind of a certain time frame that they both agree with, and he thought it's a good day to talk to his lovely, halfling babe kind of thing.
So is it monthly then, because the dates are always the same day of the week?
Yeah, no, he's even got it nicely carved into his arm by his lovely wife to make sure he counts it every day and just goes make sure it's okay. So
you have
she has way to remind him how to do
So
the
there
right
is a
thing.
series of marks, and you mark off the marks so you know what day to call. Is that the way it works?
Well, I have a bandage. I just moved from mark to mark, so yeah,
Oh,
that
okay.
kind of goes
Alright,
there.
so
Yeah. I'll bandage a band-aid. I'll the same bandage based on this area. And he knows that, okay, tomorrow's the day. He knows, he gets excited because, it's his, he's lovely, honey bun kind of thing. So, yeah. So,
Is it the sending stones do visuals as well, or just sound?
Gives him 25 words.
Oh, okay.
so yeah, he's keen to catch up, see what she's up to, and, send all his love towards her. So, yeah.
Also online today, we have M.
Hello, I play Zol, your ever lovable cleric wizard. Yes, and that's about.
Who has
about it.
graduated from Ranger?
Yeah, slightly less failed ranger than I used to be. or at least proud of previously being a ranger. Who knows? One of the two.
And just like
Cleric.
the rest of the party, you've got your associations to the undead. As one of Bradshaw's ancestors is a vampire.
Oh, I was going to say Bradshaw has no connection to undeath, as far
He
as I
does.
know. Okay.
And his clan holdings is now completely in possession of a vampire, since this group destroyed the Forges of Power.
Okay.
And the Dwarven Forge of Power prevents undead from approaching within a certain distance.
Okay.
So, with that in mind, the dwarf that did belong to this party decided it would be a great idea to destroy the forge.
Sorry, can you say that bit again?
The dwarf who was part of this party back then, this was probably about session 10 to 15.
Indra?
Mdrak, that is correct.
Yep.
Managed to get a wish out of a Dinjin for throwing it into the forge to set it free, and his wish was the forge be destroyed. So it wasn't accidental.
It wasn't accidental, okay. The master, though, is he undead or something? What exactly is he?
Unknown what he is, but
Okay.
whatever he is, he can't be killed by mortal means.
Okay.
Once you become a quester, you've already gained a bit of immortality.
Okay. It's just a reminder of just what we face. Okay.
I have a question. Do you have to become a genocidal maniac to be a quester?
No,
Or is it just depending on what you decide to do?
it all depends on who you get to sponsor you.
Calbrix is questing, so she's not genocidal just yet.
Yeah, she can't officially quest until she's in her level 35.
Look, she's planning to quest. That's enough, right?
It is enough, yes. But all the questers are officially level 35.
Yeah. It's just a matter of
How
she's
many
not
are
quite old
there?
enough yet.
There can easily be 180 at any one time.
Okay. Do we know any others?
Each quester belongs to one god.
Okay. Do we know any others?
They don't advertise themselves, and part of becoming a quester requires them to erase anything relating to them.
Oh, okay.
Basically, if they succeed, their mortal identity is expected to get expunged. Though you do have one of the ones who did it recently called Al-Qadim, who still is celebrated by his people.
Okay.
So again, the purging is specific to the god, and a lot of gods request it to make it harder for others to find and stop you. And of them, you have learnt that there is 3 of them who did not have a sponsor.
Okay.
That is the god Rad, the god Raphael, and the god Benikanda, which is Redrian's immortal form.
Okay. There's a lot to take in and all that.
There is.
So what was the questers doing?
The questers each have their list of challenges, and each has to complete the challenges assigned to them.
And they're generally not doing things like destroy the world.
If they worked for Alphax, maybe?
Mm.
Considering he did destroy the world he lived in to become a god.
Okay.
Why do they keep destroying the world?
Well, look at Master looks like the only one who's really into doing that.
Well, he's not into destroying the world, he's into ending the elves.
Yeah, well,
That doesn't
I don't
destroy
know,
the world, it
tree-
just ends the elves.
tree of life. Just was it absorbing the tree of life? Sounds to me like it's going to end the world as we know it.
As you know it, yes. Just you'll have a world without elves.
I don't know many elves. None of us are elves, are we? No.
Not in this group.
Technically, if Calcrix were to appear to you in her bipedal form, she would appear as an elf.
Okay.
No one's. I don't think any. Oh, you guys might have seen her once or twice. She spent about less than 60 seconds in elf form.
Okay.
She doesn't like feet, like actual feet, or human bodies.
Okay, so who remembers what happened last session?
I do not.
We went to the library in Ylaruam. Actually, we did a few other things before that, but I remember the library in Ylaruam. That was Drazel's idea. It was Calcrix's idea to go to the library.
It was.
Drazel, we met another Drazel. Oh, before that, we returned the
Relic.
That's
the relic.
right. We returned the artifact to the Sultan.
Yeah, and you had a tea party
Yeah,
with the Sultan.
that's right.
And afterward, we went to the library, and the Sultan might have
We
suggested it,
We
actually.
split between the university and the library, didn't we?
The university is the library.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay. Well, there you go.
It was split between the market and the university or
Oh,
library.
that's it.
Yeah.
Because we have to resupply.
And we met another Drazel, so there were two Drazels together. One was younger and not as developed as the other.
That's right. Zal was giving a lesson to the kids, and Ghost Librarian did something with her.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I got dragged away by a certain Eep.
And one of the Drazels, I think it's the younger one who seems to be like the librarian, gave us a whole lot of books, or at least tips of books, which led us to the spear that you now have, Calcrix. Although it's hidden away somewhere, isn't it?
It was hidden away in the library where only those who knew where to look for it could find it.
Yeah, but Calcrix now has it. I'm not sure quite how you hide a spear, but maybe an illusion to make it look like something else.
If you saw the write-up on the
Yeah,
on the page, the answer is not very well.
yeah, that's what I thought.
But it's currently being used as a pointy titchy tool.
Oh, pointy dick.
Okay, so... Don't seem to have put in the latest sessions for this one, so I can't refer to them. For some reason, I haven't updated Friday sessions for a little while.
It was we were on Thursday, which threw everything, made it.
Yeah, I'm looking at it online, and I seem to be 2 sessions out, as well as tonight's session.
Oh, okay.
So last one online is the 17th.
I'll have a look at my notes, because I did actually make quite a few notes.
I was meaning to update that before the game, but I
Oh, that's
quite
right.
got
We
to it.
we found lots of tips about where to find other relics. That's right. We were searching for where to find all the various relics, and then discovered that one of the relics was actually in the building we were in.
But it had been lost to time.
That's right. I don't know. I think it was. Yeah, it doesn't really matter who. But we just figured out it was where we were.
Okay.
See, well, we were in the right place at the right time, using the right magic to find it.
And I believe at the end of the session you had grabbed it, lighting up the area.
Okay. Yes. Calcrix has the spear now.
Because these things do help.
She had to cast Truth Seeing to actually find it.
Yeah, I had cast True Seeing. Now I need to cast Legend Lore, right?
Yeah, I just got to get the microphone working again.
I do think there was a couple of notes at the end.
Can you
of the
guys
session.
hear us online?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Good, because I had accidentally disconnected the microphone.
Oh, whoops.
Apparently hooking the cable and moving it wasn't the best action. Okay, so coming back to where you were all standing in a balcony overlooking the Sultan's palace.
Yep.
And Calcrix is holding up the glowing spear.
No, she's hiding it behind her back, because as soon as she noticed people were looking at her, she kind of shoved it behind her back.
Okay, Calcrix is highlighted for all to see by the glowing spear.
Move off to the side and have a look over the edge of the balcony.
I'd like to cast Invisible on me and the spear.
Okay, so you cast invisibility.
I don't know. I'm thinking that maybe I should.
Okay.
Calcrix will ask the whole group, should I cast Invisible on me and the spear, considering all the guys on the other balcony looking at us?
Yeah, what you could do is sort of duck inside, cast something like Major Image on the spear, and then come out again.
Oh, look, that's a good idea. I'll duck inside. Out of sight, at least. Because I think at the end of last session, Martin, you described that there's a bunch of the personal guard for the Sultan standing on a balcony opposite us, looking at us.
That is correct.
Very annoyed that we seem to have this sacred spear.
Well, hey, it is the weapon of their god's aid.
Yes. As I said, I might duck out of sight using haste.
Mm-hmm. You cast haste?
If I need to do that to duck out of sight quickly, then yes.
I thought you said using haste because that is a spell. That was why I was
It is a
asking.
spell?
It is a spell.
Oh,
You mean quickly?
quickly, just quickly.
All good.
I'm trying not to enter initiative yet until I get advice from my wiser friends.
Okay, so yes, you do hear sounds of alarms coming from the palace.
Okay.
Is this where we should use a teleportation circle?
You probably could.
We don't have one, do we? Oh, actually, we do have one back at Red Rian's
Calcrix
place.
does.
Oh, do you? Okay.
Yep, she's got. I think I'm allowed 3 or 5.
We've got a few. I can't
So
remember how
I've
many.
got a number of them. But I'm asking like everybody, Zal, Bradshaw.
Maybe we should just try to leave the university without drawing too much attention to ourselves.
That's what I mean. Teleportation circle.
Okay.
No attention whatsoever.
Okay. Well, if you want to do that, okay.
But that said, didn't we hear last session that magic works funny here, and someone should remind Calcrix of that real soon.
I don't remember. There's money. Is it just today or here?
The university has a lot of wards associated with it.
Oh, that's right. Wards. Yes. It does.
Okay, and joining us just then is Josh.
Hello, I'm Josh Translation from the Paladin.
Not so much now.
Still a paladin.
Yes, but not screaming in everyone's face.
I kind of miss it.
Yeah, it was.
Don't say you kind of miss it. That'll just bring it back harder.
I say that as a dragon wearing a ring of mind shielding, which means I haven't heard it for quite some time.
It does help.
So what's the last session? How many people are looking at this at the moment?
From the balcony on the other side, probably about 5 or 6. From the steps below, probably about maybe 200 or 300. Soldiers.
Okay.
That seems a bit low for Bradshaw. He's really worried about it right now. But I'm just saying as probably Anton, and I'll just say, look, sure we can't negotiate this at all. I'm happy to negotiate for the team if you'd like.
Are we being confronted by anyone yet?
Not yet, but it is only a matter of time, considering you have set off an alarm.
Okay.
Calcrix will look at Drazzle and say, considering all your years here, is there a secret exit we can use?
Drazzle does not.
Okay. I have True Sight still, because it lasts for a bit.
Does last for a
Can
bit.
I look for a secret exit?
Well, I said Drazzle nods.
Oh, Drazzle nods. Oh, in that case...
You could ignore him if you wish.
No, it's called bad hearing, and I lost both my hearing aids, and life sucks. I would like to not have ADHD. I'd like to be less loud as a person, and I'd like to have a memory. Right. I will follow Drazzle.
Okay.
I wave at them, and as I walk back, I'm going to cast Disguise Self. My old favourite was to be an old man with a cane. I'm not sure that that's best fitting for a library. If there's sort of some dress style for the students,
Most of them
A
are
uniform?
robes.
Okay, well, I make
wraps.
myself look like a student.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. I'm just going to follow Drazzle.
Bradshaw would like to take up the rear to protect the party.
Uh,
Come on, I'm still trying to...
What about Chagall and Zal?
I'm trying to remember why we would want to be hiding.
Would you like to explain to the Sultan of this country why you just acquired one of his holiest relics?
And why we're taking it without his permission out of his place where he's secretly hidden it to protect it from all the bad people of the world from using it. Oh, this is the same Sultan that could kill an entire room full of people with just a word for annoying him in any subtle manner.
But aren't you and he on first name terms over your tea?
We might not be now.
Oh, okay.
He is, but he's also supreme ruler of his nation,
Mm-hmm.
as well as a high-level time cleric.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, I'm just wondering why we wouldn't talk to him and sort of. I mean, because we didn't really want to grab it, did we?
As I explained last session, he won't be able to give us permission to take his sacred relic out of his country.
Yeah, sorry, I'm trying to remember why we need to take it out of the country.
It's a sacred artifact that Redrin has bid us get.
it's effective against the master.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, right.
I'm fairly sure Calcrix is the one who's supposed to use it against the Master too, based on a very vague memory of information we got last session. I'm looking at Martin, hoping he will nod or shake his head.
I'm leaving it completely neutral.
You're going to make me watch the last session back again, which I'm going to do anyway because I finally have a new notebook that I can write my session notes in.
Okay.
Yeah, I did voluntarily marry this man. Why, I don't know. Yeah, so the reason why we didn't go and talk to the Sultan, I'm pretty sure...
He wouldn't have been able to give you permission
Is
to
that-
take it based on it being a item of his religion.
Yeah.
And we were going to return it.
Yeah, he probably understands that. He can see the future. When we were having tea, he probably knew all along that I'm going to make off with his spear in a few hours. Which is probably why these personal guard people haven't killed us yet.
Okay.
But we do need to get out of here.
We want to get out of here without causing any bloodshed.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Moment, so
It
my
was a
brain
fortnight
is
ago.
come to a grinding halt as well.
15 days was the Thursday.
15 days, yes. So just over a fortnight.
If anyone's going to empathise with memory issues, it's me. If my tones all sound off, it's just because my brain is all out of kilter, so don't read anything into my tones.
I can say I would probably push Zal and Chauvel behind me kind of thing, so I'll be the last person. So hey guys, just follow.
So are you walking backwards? Is that how you're pushing them behind you?
No, because I would have waited to make sure everyone follows.
Sorry, I was just commenting on the actual words you used.
I know. I just thought I'd just I'm trying to make sure that they don't get. If they want to go stay and talk politics with the person, I won't. But I'll try to nudge them in the right direction if I can. So.
It's all kind of like it's like he doesn't want to anger the Sultan, but understands that we kind of need
We need to leave.
we need this item and we need to leave. So he's a bit kind of like, I don't know, stuck feeling. Anyway, yeah, I'll fall behind. Drizzle, excuse me.
I'd make you a coffee, Annie, but I don't think I can pass it through the computer.
Well.
Here, let me try.
Yeah. I don't think we got to tell you guys. Our coffee machine decided that it was either the heating element or something in it was gonna go, and so it decided to overheat and almost explode one of the boilers. So yay.
Do you you've had it longer than 5 years, right?
I've had 6 months longer than 5 years.
Oh God, that sucks.
Yeah.
I'm sure they have a timer.
Right to Breville. Last time mine was 3 months past the 5 years, and I'm like, guys. And they actually replaced it on warranty.
I meant to call them today.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll probably end up calling them tomorrow or on Monday. And just say I know it's out of warranty. I'm not entirely sure what's wrong. It's still probably going to be cheaper to fix it than buy a new one.
It's usually motherboard.
I will remind you, we are recording on live stream here at the moment.
Okay.
And your discussions about that will be posted online at the end of the game.
Okay. No,
It's just a coffee machine. Yes. Sorry. Following Calgrix, trying not to. Trying not to get caught, basically.
Okay. Dressel leads you into one of the main halls and takes you to one of the big support pillars.
Okay.
And as he touches it, a doorway opens up.
Okay.
And you see a stairwell going up and down.
Ooh.
Which way should we go, up or down?
Dressel says yes.
Okay.
I suspect down, because flying out of here may not be good. Unless there's a teleportation circle up there. She looks at Dressel.
Dressel pats you on the shoulder and says you will pick right.
Oh, well, logic says down. Calcrix looks at Eep.
Eep's always happy going into darkness.
If Dressel says I'll pick right, then I'll go down.
Okay. So Dressel's waiting outside to shut the door when all of you get in there.
Okay.
I presume Cheval's following.
Yeah, I'm following.
It is a
Okay.
metal spiral stairwell inside the pillar.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
From what you can tell, it goes all the way to the top of the university and probably all the way to the bottom of the university.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Combination.
As Russell talks to you, go downstairs, like you in the background. I'll follow the rest of the team. So.
Okay, as you step in, you notice that Drazzle's shutting you in there while standing outside.
Drazzle's shutting us in,
Yeah.
but he's staying outside.
I've long since learned just to accept whatever Drazzle does.
I presume it can only be shut or open from
One way.
the outside.
Or
Yeah.
someone who knows how to do it.
Oh, yeah, that too.
Oh, I'm not going to stop him, but I'm worried about him.
Well, the Drazzle that's in the place, I believe, was the one who was here originally.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
There are two Drazzles. There's the younger, I think of younger and older Drazzle. Oh, is it younger Drazzle or older Drazzle shutting the door?
Younger Drazzle.
Younger Drazzle. Okay, the one who's always here.
Well, older Drazzle avoids the city while younger Drazzle is here.
Okay, but I have seen both of them today. At the same time?
No.
Okay.
They rarely interact with each other.
Hmm.
Mainly whenever they do something bad's about to happen.
Okay.
Isn't it something about when they interact, someone kills someone else?
Normally, Drazzle's involved in some shenanigans such as stealing the magic from a parallel universe.
Ah, yeah, okay.
Okay, you're...
Calcrick's double check, she still has the spear.
She still has the spear.
Okay. She checks she's got all her other magic items as well.
She does. Okay, you seem to go down a long way.
I'm happy to take the lead since I can see in the dark.
I will
And
happily
I look like a student.
Okay, so yes, the stairs keep going down and down and down. Starts to get cold, which is not bad considering everything has been hot up until now.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, underground desert, or even 10 centimeters into desert sand is like 2 to 3 degrees cooler.
Well, you feel as if you've gone down maybe 2,000 or 3,000 steps, maybe more.
Bradford's quite happy at the moment. He's missing the underground. So.
Diggy hole?
No.
A bit of a dwarven kind of happy steps.
Not the traditional one, the dance music one by Windrose.
Well, I can't sing certain dwarven songs because last time I did that, I summoned the devil in other games. So I kind of, if a dwarf could sing songs that are not affecting any sort of gods of any sort of sort, I would sing a song, but I don't think there's any in Bradford's corner right now. So.
Well, depending on who you dedicate it to, anyone could show up.
That's the worry that Bradshaw has, based on a certain other game. So, Bradshaw's just gonna, see a bit more confident these steps, not kind of, just a bit happier. Actually smiling, the first time I see Bradshaw smile.
But none of the stonework is dwarven.
So, I'm sorry, none of the stonework is dwarven, is that what you're saying?
Not any of it is dwarven.
No, that's okay, but I still, underground is good, because I do miss it, so I haven't been for a while.
Okay, when you finally do come out to a landing, you're not sure how far down you are because it's very hard to measure that.
Mm-hmm.
The final step of the stairwell takes you out into a landing where you can feel air movement, and it feels damp, unlike the rest of the desert.
What can we see?
Stepping out, you can see a broad river flowing past where the landing is, and what appears to be a settlement of some kind, where you seem to be the rodent size to a settlement.
Sorry, we are the what?
You're the size of a rodent in comparison to the settlement.
So these are giants buildings.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
There may not be a sign, but here there be giants.
Yeah. Well, I've interacted with hill giants. Maybe these are stone giants. I don't know.
And
I'm presuming there's not actually any giants here.
No, not at the moment. And what was Bradshaw going to do?
would Well start getting a bit talkative in my mind?
Well, is not talkative at all at this stage.
Okay, good. I'm just checking that I don't think we have anything that I can see. Yeah, okay. Yeah, because I know Whelm hates giants, so that's all. So.
Whelm does hate giants.
Damn it,
Yes.
I've sabotaged myself. I'm now singing a song in my head.
Yeah.
So
Diggy hole.
as far as we can tell, we're in a large cavern with a village.
And a river passing through.
Okay.
Though it feels more like a outpost than a village,
Okay.
because not a lot of buildings, but covers more space than most villages do.
Yeah. And it's a desert up above, so I wonder where this river goes.
I do communicate with Whelm. It telepathically saying, looks like there may be some giants here previously.
It says none of this construction is of giant make.
Okay.
Okay. I mentally nod, if that makes sense. So.
True sign or culture?
Culture, you do recognize dragon design.
Well, it's dragon. So that's...
I pause, pull out my sketchbook, and start scribbling. Quickly. Have you just had food? Is it too early to put snacks somewhere on the table for you?
Too early for snacks.
If I hide them behind the screen so you can get it later, would that be okay?
That would be
It's just so I can sit down and then not annoy the cat.
I take it we can't hear any sounds of pursuit or anything like that.
You do not hear any sounds of pursuit in the stairwell. Maybe someone has distracted the guards.
Okay, yes, that's quite possible. Well, that means it's time to investigate then. Wander over towards the nearest building.
Okay, wandering over to it, it seems to have a large nesting space inside.
Okay.
With shelves with probably able to hold books bigger than you are,
Oh, wow.
but all empty.
Okay.
Calcrix is
Hey, Calcrix, we found you a library.
Calcrix is proper investigating now. We'll probably make a roll, but I'll just finish cutting up ham for Sir Meows a lot, and then I'll be right with you. Because he knows I've been in the kitchen.
And he's watching you intently.
Oh yeah.
And so yes, looking in there, you do think it is a design for dragons to rest in and study.
Okay. We'll look around because this is an interesting place, but we need to find a way out.
It does look as if that may not have been used for a few years,
Mm-hmm.
yet there is a small layer of dust.
What about this river?
Rumour says the River Nithia passes beneath the sands of Ylaruam.
What do we know about the
River Nithia?
River Nithia?
The Sindacians had told the others about it at one stage. It used to be the lifeblood of the region before they angered the gods, and the god Ixion diverted it.
Oh, okay.
There are no snacks here until you're hungry. Are you a good boy? You are. I heard that.
We know where it goes?
Yeah.
You believe it goes to the coast.
Good boys get
Okay.
ham.
You're not sure where it originates, because that knowledge has been lost.
As in the coast of Ylaruam where we wanted to head to in the first place? Or a different coast?
Well, that's the only coast you know of nearby. If it goes to a different coast, then the river's definitely got a lot of mileage to it.
Mm.
So we're going to make a decision here. I don't know we've got much choice other than follow the river. We don't have a boat, do we? We don't have Yodri, who's a boater, a pirate.
Yes, it would be interesting to actually have a skilled boatsman with you again,
Yeah, it would be useful.
just in time for you to need one.
Yeah.
Having a look around, besides the buildings, you do see there is a wharf out on the river with a couple of barges.
Okay. We'll have a look at those barges. How waterworthy. How do they look?
The barges themselves are about 45 feet in width and about 100 feet in length.
Oh, so they could easily carry all of us. But we don't know how to. We wouldn't know how to steer it or anything like that. So we'd probably wreck it.
They do have poles,
What's this?
Yeah.
barges on the river.
Okay. Can I do my investigation before we leave?
You can do your investigation. They haven't chosen to leave yet. They're just looking around.
Sorry. Get my dice.
You can spin your dial.
If I can get my dial out.
Just remember it's on the D20 side.
These barges that we all see out there, do we all see it or just...
You can all see it if you wish to look.
I'll look and see if they look familiar to me based on my wife's family side of things, if that makes sense.
They don't remind you of anything you've seen with the halflings.
Okay.
Mainly the halflings rarely work in stone.
Can I roll a perception roll to see if I see what race is on the boat or something like that?
Sure. Give me an investigation roll.
19 the dice plus investigation.
Normally intelligence.
Intelligence plus 0. I'll get a 19. Yeah.
Okay, looking at it, you're not quite sure who it's designed for because it doesn't leap out and tell you. You're not very familiar with boats, being your entire life has been avoiding them.
That's true. I'll be honest about that, yeah.
And it doesn't resemble the dwarven stone ships you've heard of.
Hopefully it's not known either. Okay. Okay. I just thought there was a... Do you want to approach friendly or how do you want to do it?
I'm still looking at the city.
Yep, and what was your investigation?
24.
24. Okay, having a look.
I almost forgot.
Having a look at it, it looks like a dragon outpost for the city under the sands. Most likely the place where the dragons would interact with the Sultan.
So what I've heard about this, this is not the city that the Sultan and the Shadow Elves have talked about populating. It's a different place.
Not the Shadow Elves, the Elfin Elves.
Elfin Elves, sorry. I
good.
I just knew it was Lul doing that.
Yeah.
Diplomatizing.
Sorry, just trying to get the words out.
Yeah.
This would lead to it.
Okay.
So it's associated with it, but this is not their city.
And what was it called again?
It's basically just an outpost.
An outpost where the dragons would meet with the Sultan?
Most likely. That's what you'd expect.
And did you say there was dragon-sized books? Or just shelves?
Shelves for dragon-sized books.
But it's empty.
They are currently empty.
Everything's empty?
Everything has been cleaned out, and it looks like it's been cleaned out a few years back. Roughly around the time you heard dragons all migrated north.
Would this count as a dragon lair?
It does.
Does this mean for the first time in 12 levels I can cast one of my dragon lair spells?
Well, you could make it your lair for the night, yes.
Do we want to make it our lair for the night? It would be safer that way, right?
It would if you're staying the night here.
Are we staying the night here?
We have two other options. We can follow the river. We can go back up the stairs.
We could follow the river tomorrow and explore.
I'm happy to explore. I think we're reasonably safe here. We need to know what we're proposing to do next, though. I think that's the important thing.
Huh.
Where are we
think
going from here?
If you feel safe, I'm happy to take first guard shift. I think if we're feeling safe, I'm happy for us to stay in the cave, I assume this is.
It is a large cavern, and
Yeah.
it has actual buildings in it with the big river.
I mean, is there a barge with people on it, or is there just?
There is a barge. There has been no people mentioned whatsoever.
Right. Sorry.
I presume if there's people, they would have
Been
noticed
described
us
earlier.
by now. And gone, who the hecking are yous?
Is this barge or barges? Are they seaworthy? You know, like they're not rotted or anything like that.
Looking at them, the barges seem to be made completely out of stone.
Stone. I've never seen a floating stone barge. Okay, that's a first. They are floating.
Come on,
aren't they?
Mr.
No problem.
Earthy dude. You should know all about stone by now,
I
right?
do know about stone, but I've never seen stone float on water. They are floating, aren't they?
They are floating.
Mm-hmm.
Though they don't seem to be moving that much in the water.
Okay.
Rachel does pipe up saying it's dwarven ships are made out of stone, and there's ways to make them work.
Okay.
It could be physically, naturally, or sometimes that magic stuff that you seem to use. So,
Well, I cast detect magic to examine them.
Okay, yes, they do radiate abjuration magic quite strongly.
Okay.
Which magic?
Abjuration, which is protective magic.
Ah, okay. And that's the icons on the
That is the boats.
boats.
And to my inexpert eye, they look like they're going to float and they were fine.
They do look like they float quite finely.
Yeah, they can knock me. Okay. Controlling them would be the difficult bit.
I really hope to use my neat handwriting in my new book, but you're getting barely operating handwriting.
Yes, there are days I'm like that too.
But look, I'm writing. I'm happy.
if I'll just say, look, everyone sit down. I'll just take the watch over the ship side of things. I'm happy to take the first shift, and I'll just. Who would like to join the second shift, or who would like to swap with me? I'll just look at everyone. So.
I'll watch whatever. I'm happy to take whatever watch.
Calgrix will take a watch, but right now she wants to cast, I'm guessing, Enhanced Greed. I want to see if I can figure out if there's anything hidden around here.
Okay, do you want to hand me the spell?
I'm thinking this is the right one. I'm not sure. I'm hoping you will correct me if I'm wrong. It's the only one I've never used because you can only use it like in a dragon's lair.
No, you don't need to do it in a dragon's lair. You just got to be. The one lair sense was the one that you get talking about.
Well, I'm still making my way over that. There are a lot of spells here.
So enhanced greed gives you the ability to find different
I don't
jewels
have lair
within
sense
time.
in here. Got locate object. Mage hand. I don't seem to have lair sense in the list. Do you remember what lair sense is?
I remember it, but not
I've never been in a lair before.
technically, you can turn any place into a lair.
Okay, I've tried to use some of my lair abilities in the past, and you've told me I can't. It is not a dragon's lair. Raid the lair. Is that the one you're thinking about?
What's it called?
Raid the lair. Create an invisible circle of protective energy centered on yourself. This field moves. No, that's only if we're attacked. We don't need it.
So that protects you against dragon's lair.
Yeah, that's only if we're attacked. We don't need it.
Whereas lair sense is how you protect your own lair.
But I know it gives us certain advantages, which is why I was asking about it.
It does. It's a second level divination.
I was hoping it might help me figure out if there's things hidden here.
Yep. Okay. So, what is Chauvel and Zal doing? Bradshaw's on watch. Anton's had a good look around.
I need to be on watch as well, just so we have another pair of eyes. What?
Well, you know how deadly being underground like this is next to a river?
Sorry?
You know how deadly it is to be underground next to a river?
Successful cleric.
Failed ranger.
Yeah, well, I don't see a
You don't see a fish you want to stab?
hoping fish along the road tank.
I don't
And if
know,
I
you might.
do, I'm gonna yell at Martin because it wasn't there 5 seconds ago.
For old time's sake, he might bring one up.
It might happen during your watch, who knows?
Yeah, maybe. Who knows?
I have something to do on my watch, but I'll wait to see what Chauvel wants to do. So.
What did Josh wish to do?
How many people are on watch at the moment?
Currently 2.
I'll go second watch.
I have a feeling they're all going to go let Calcrix explore by herself.
Oh, I'll go with you. I've got nothing else to do.
Okay, so Calcrix and Anton are wandering around while Bradshaw and Ylaruam watch, and Chauvel is sleeping.
So Bradshaw gets out his setting stone that he has with his lovely wife, and knows that it's the right date to call her, otherwise there could be some consequences. So he, using his setting stone, he'll just say, "Hey babe, how you going?"
Though I will suggest an engineering roll for that one.
Okay. On the assumption that she's taught you that 20 times a roll, but yeah. That's an apple 20, I shouldn't say okay.
Okay, so you do realize that because she is traveling west via ocean, technically she's at a completely different time of the day you were at.
Oh.
Okay.
So if you're supposed to call her at a specific time, you will be calling her early.
Ooh, okay. I think
She'll get the message though, won't she?
She will get the message, yes, as long as she's got her hand on the sending stone.
So if I know it's the wrong, if I possibly know it's the wrong time, then after 20, I might pick a time that I think is more convenient for her, if that makes sense. But
Depending on how far she's travelled, it will be potentially half an hour to an hour later, maybe even 2 hours later.
sounds like I should do it first thing in the morning, is what I'm getting at. Yeah, I'll do it first. I'll wake up and I'll do it first in the morning too.
Or you do it at the end of your watch.
I'll do that too, yeah.
Because that would be roughly the time frame, because most watches go for about 2 hours.
Yeah, I'll do that. Okay, wait till the end of the watch. Sitting comfortably, sitting with Wayne on under my kind of legs kind of thing, sitting next to Zal and just go, "So, how you going?" Trying to bring up conversation while we're doing watch.
Yes, I believe Bradshaw is actively engaging in you so as not to pay attention to what's happening around him.
Keeping watch on the river. I have had a bad experience with a river in the past.
Oh, okay. Just thought I'll just Okay, I'll just get back to watching it today. Realising that he's getting no kind of conversation as well tonight, so yeah.
You could.
You could, just that most of the time when you're having a conversation and something does occur, you either get disadvantaged or don't notice.
Yeah.
That is the downside to not being on watch while on watch.
That's wise words for
Okay, well, I'll try to pay. So, because I'm just watching this from over the time of being the party. So, what's the deal with your mum and dad, I just say? And I don't, if I don't get a response, that could be I'll leave it.
Zal like has a small chuckle and is like, I think we need more than the sort of a few hours of watch to go into that tragic backstory. It's a bit complicated.
It could be a serial.
It has drama, it has loss, it has adventure, it has betrayal.
And if you do it with an accent, it could be like either an Italian or Spanish serial, depending on the accent you choose.
It would be like, back in my day. What? Shogal is technically my cousin, I think.
That is correct.
Yeah. Anyway. It all involves a bit of bad blood, a lot of misunderstanding, years of revenge seeking, to turn out on a slightly better note than that.
It's okay. Look, I found out my goat that I used to ride was my brother after all. So hey, I know how things work in families. So. And that's a bit long for this 2-hour conversation as well. I'm watching. Okay, by the way.
And just so Azal knows, she probably has heard from Rose that, which is Bradshaw's wife, that if he'd only listened to his mother, he would have known about that before he left. And she told him all this about why he needed to look after the goat, but after she mentioned the goat, he tuned out.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I had another family member that was related to a goat, and that's another complicated bit of family history. So,
okay, that's fair enough. Did you want to know anything about me? Because we really haven't had a chat for a long time. Well, I don't think we've actually had a chat. And if I get the kind of if I just try to read Zal, do I get a kind of... It's a she, is that right? He, sorry, okay. Apologies, I keep getting that mixed up with you, unfortunately.
Don't worry, everyone does.
If I get he's not really want to have a chat, I kind of just go silent for the next 2 hours. Okay, so, yeah.
Well, he is a cleric of the Ethengarians who are north of Rockholm. So they are a ally / opponent of the dwarves. They're an ally in the sense of the dwarves helped them. They're an opponent in the sense the dwarves built an entire fortress to keep them out of their nation.
Yeah, but I don't mind the Ethengarians from a previous issue with another Ethengarian, so I don't mind. I feel like kind of half understand if that makes sense. So, I'll try, and if we can't, have a very simple conversation, I might just let it go for a bit. So.
Unlike the other one, this one doesn't drink.
Yeah, that's what's strange about the whole situation right now.
Zal keeps like making sure that he's like looking around while answering you, like trying not to be rude, but at the same time, like he doesn't want to be rude, but he's like, yeah, maybe we should maybe talk over breakfast or something, because this is.
No, you got an appointment.
This is a conversation that takes longer than a few hours to get through. Not that I don't mind talking about it. I don't want to miss something, considering we're in a very unusual place
I
here.
feel happy to talk to Will saying, or Ethengar, things like this kind of thing, just to hold Whelm in my kind of hands while.
Whelm responds to you telepathically. The only Ethengarians it knows is through the end of its hammer.
Okay. Cool. It's a work in progress, I say telepathically, yeah. Anyway, I'll just continue on, just, watching around, make sure the entrance to where we are is looking safe and all that kind of stuff, so.
Okay, so while the others are exploring, they can hear the entire conversation happening between Bradshaw and Zal.
Okay.
That's fair, yeah.
Seems the noises just bounce around here quite
Oh, it's got great acoustics.
It does.
Okay.
Almost as if they're right beside you the entire time.
I mean, it's not like we aren't. It's not like most of the party doesn't know some of this story at some point.
But it's great to know your people on watch are busy watching.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I really don't think we're under any threat.
Okay. As you're looking around, the true sight and detect magics that I'm assuming you're just doing as you go.
Yep.
Calcrix is able to discern in a couple of wards that are designed to keep this place hidden from detection.
Okay.
As
You can't be found here.
As you also note that the place has a lot of abjuration magic around it.
Mm.
Most of the buildings are covered in it.
Oh.
I'll trump to disturb them.
Which make great hiding places for dragons who don't want to be seen.
I'm still kind of looking for any information I can find. I don't particularly want to steal from here. I just want to find the hidden caches that might have information about who is here or who was here. Particularly maybe if there's names and things of dragons I might be able to chase up, or dragons I might have heard of, heroes so to speak, or villains for lack of a better description.
As you're looking, from what you can imagine, this would be a outpost of the Dragon Academy, simply designed for the dragons to make use of the university above.
Okay. Makes sense.
But not being seen as a outsider or out in the city itself.
No sign of any books, though.
No sign of any of the
They
books.
took them all with them. Not
Now,
one scroll.
you would expect they did so just out of practicality.
I check all the corners.
And you do see that one of the buildings is designed for Dragonborn.
Dragon
Born.
born. Ooh.
Like Drazzle.
Mm-hmm.
I make my way over to it. Carefully.
Looks like it could probably house maybe 50 of them.
Oh wow.
Whereas it's got accommodation for 3 dragons in total in this settlement.
I sketch the Dragonborn hotel, so to speak.
Though it could quite easily have been for kobolds as much as it was for dragons. Dragonborn.
Yeah.
So there's no murals or anything? No.
They've left no identifying features behind.
Wow.
This is not designed as a living space, more as a transitory space.
Dragon sad face. I suppose, I presume that spell to find things wouldn't help. So I'll
Generally,
just,
it won't find things hidden behind wards.
I'll just make my way back to camp once I determine there's nothing that can be found, and
Okay, so
make sad faces at Eve.
a few hours later, you make it back to camp with Anton, having really explored around the area. Some of the dragon buildings are big enough for you at full size to stretch your wings out and still not touch the sides.
Let's just say when we were in those rooms, I did that just because I wanted to.
No, game for the night.
In one of the buildings?
Yeah, well, the one that houses all the dragon
The
balls.
one
probably
with,
has it got beds or anything like that?
It has shelves.
Shells. Well, I've slept in worse places.
Well, rather than camp by the river, I might call the others over to a safer place to rest.
Mm-hmm.
And if needed, we'd cast Lair Sense to make sure that we're safe.
Mm-hmm.
And whisper to Zal, she should be able to sleep just fine because no ropers will come here.
Does anyone have
dragon lair
Does anyone have alarm?
That's what Lair Sense does.
Oh, it doesn't? Okay. Well, I don't
Yeah.
have the spell, so.
If you're talking about alarm clock,
Technically, I still have alarm because it was a ritual. It was a ritual cast, and I still have the book.
Okay.
So technically, I can set up alarm. I just don't feel the need to with giant dragon and everyone else here.
so maybe we would rest in the Dragonborn room because it's probably more enclosed. Plus, it's got somewhere for people to sleep. And I'm guessing only a couple of entrances to watch on for people who are on watch.
Mm-hmm. There are quite a few spaces. There's even a tower at the top of the Dragonborn abode that has a full sight of the settlement.
Oh, wow. How high is it?
Probably about 200 feet up.
Oh, wow. So my vision wouldn't actually go that far.
I would probably do sketches from the tower and of each of the major rooms. That's about it.
We're going to need light to do that.
You do see that
Dark vision.
The dark vision doesn't go that far.
Well, it goes black and white after a certain point.
Yeah, I could still do a sketch from black and white.
Oh, so my vision only goes 120 feet.
Now, 120 feet for you to make stuff out, and then things are dim after that.
Okay. No, I've got devil's sight, so I can see perfectly in darkness, even colour.
And then after your distance, it's black and white only.
Okay. So I can actually see beyond 120 feet.
You can, yes.
Yeah.
So, unlike 5e, your distance is not capped by your sight. Your sight is just clearest within that.
Okay.
And if you attack anything outside of that distance, you get disadvantage.
Okay.
Because it's slightly blurred.
Oh, well. Yeah, okay.
But you can still see. Otherwise, if you looked outside, even with starlight, you'd be going, my vision ends at blah.
Oh, yeah. Well, light changes things. But yeah.
It does, yes.
I'll curl over it. Like I've slept in worse places. I think this is perfectly safe. Happy to do a watch if somebody wants me to, but otherwise I'm curling over and sleeping. Because I think this is perfectly safe.
I'll probably take last watch.
Okay, so those that curl up on the shelves find it very easy to fall asleep on.
Okay. Well, I've slept in worse places, so.
Pencil broken, but I can't
Pencil
see any other
broken.
pencils.
Okay,
I think I've already stolen like 2 or 3 pencils from there.
it's okay. You keep getting them.
I'll just keep stealing them and absorbing all your pencils.
And eventually you'll just replace them.
Yeah, eventually I will. Thank you.
Or I'll run out of them, one of the two. Okay, so yes. Now, nothing disturbs you for many hours.
For many hours, okay.
Mhm.
That means something disturbs us.
Which watch is it going to be on?
And
Wow.
at the end of Bradshaw's watch, he probably finds some place to contact his wife.
Okay.
Yeah, if I've heard the echo from the cabin, I think, I'm kind of looking for a spot where I can not radiate my chatting through the whole cabin. If that makes sense, yeah.
You're not quite sure if there is a space here. It's been designed to magnify noise.
I can cast silence for you, but I think that might mean you can't talk to your partner.
I'm going to talk about partner. It's whether I want you to hear us.
We're all asleep though, Bradshaw, so.
Well, not the people on watch, which would be
Okay.
Cheval and whoever's on
Galbraith.
second watch. Probably
Okay.
Anton.
I'll try to find a spot where I can not talk a little bit softly if I can. And
I'll
just,
put my hands over my ears so I don't overhear if you like.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just going to be honest in the phone, so whether they hear it or not, we'll see how they react with me afterwards. So I will maybe tell Zal to wake up the next watch, and I'll find a spot where I can, just...
I will sit and cast silence on myself so I can't hear anything. How about that?
Yeah,
But
okay.
if you
Up to you.
cast silence on yourself while you're on watch, you might not hear something that creeps up on you.
I don't think anything's going to creep up on us.
Okay.
So I'll just find a spot and I'll just try to
Just
send a message off to Rose and similar lines that, hey babe, how you going? I hope it's all going well. This new party's very interesting. Yes, I don't have to talk to Dimitri anymore. It's good. I know what you mean. Yeah, Dimitri's a bit of a dick.
And remember, you only have 25 words.
Okay, I'll
Well,
go
if
to
the
that, and then if
conversation
it
ran
goes
out
over,
of-
it goes over, and I'll see if I get a reply.
Okay. So, you do get a response. Still at sea, passing Serpent Peninsula, expecting to arrive in Sind within the week.
Heading to Sind.
Other side of Sind.
Ah.
And I'll send one more message saying,
They won't send again. You get once per day.
oh, okay. Okay, that's okay. I kind of realised after, I should have said I loved it. Okay, to myself. And it's like, okay.
Yeah, 25
Anyway.
words ain't much.
It is not a lot.
I know, but yeah, I don't, it's the kind of life you don't upset, so I'm trying to think of. But sounds like she's very thorough into her work at the moment, so from what I'm gathering from the message back, so that's all good. And then I'll make sure I tap people to wake them up, and then I'll try to find a nice little spot, whether on the shelf or not, to sleep. So, yeah.
Does Bradshaw remember who to tap, or does he just tap everyone?
No, I do remember who I had to tap, so that's okay.
Because the funny thing is, you just ask Sal to wake them up and get them ready, so...
Yeah, I know, but that's, if Zal just ignored me, then I'll just go to myself, so, yeah.
So, not ignoring you, currently you can get on in real life. So, I'll go. Nobody said they would want to take next.
Chevelle and probably, I think Anton said he will take a watch.
Yeah, I'll take a watch.
Yeah, alright, I'll wake up Chevelle and Anton.
Well, I'll go to sleep.
Caprix opted for last watch.
I don't know what I'm going to do on what. Normally on watch I like to study the stars, but in underground you can't really do that.
But if it's a little bit underground, I feel more comfortable than I have for many.
It's not a little bit underground, it's a lot
You could
underground.
I know, but I feel like I'm home again, kind of thing, so
I could
if I snore, then I snore. I'm
I
sorry.
could play
Yeah.
cards with Proshka.
You could follow Bradshaw's example and try and start a conversation with Chevelle.
Proshka does offer if you want to draw any cards.
No, I'll just play with my deck of cards, not yours, Proshka.
But Proshka is disappointed because he knows your cards will tell his cards will tell the future.
Yeah, I know. Mine don't tell the future. Mine don't do much of anything. Well, if Cheval's joining in and watch, we can have a philosophical conversation.
Mm-hmm.
You do notice that in the darker areas, Chevelle does have a reddish outline here and there through her wings and body.
Okay.
Never quite disappears in the darkness, no matter how dark the feathers are. It's like the feather itself is black, but the veins of the feathers are red.
I think she's practicing silence.
Okay.
I believe the player is eating.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I had a couple of questions I was going to ask, but maybe they can be. Maybe I can just meditate on the questions of why are we doing this? Where are we going?
It's okay. Proshka offers Chevelle a chance to draw some cards.
Unfortunately, Proshka, some of your cards will make things worse. We've got enough problems as it is.
I'm sure Proska has the sort of look of what's the worst that can happen.
Yeah, that's true. What more bad things can happen?
Okay, so seems Bradshaw's conversation didn't get around very much because, well, short words means it's not a huge conversation anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And over your watch, you do see the occasional splash of fish in the river.
Okay.
At least you think it's fish.
At least it's fish. Cheval, do you think that, do you believe in fate, Cheval? I'll take that as a no. Okay.
Apparently Chevelle ignores you. Maybe Chevelle learnt too much about Orcus.
Okay.
No, sorry, Cheval's is very tired.
Yeah, I was very tired. Well, I'll try and spot the fish that's poke up because I've got hours here of boredom ahead of me. So
Is there a
I'm
fish?
spotting for fish.
Why is there a fish?
There's fish in. I thought I saw a fish in the river.
I will give you an investigate check.
An investigate check. Okay.
Investigation.
Investigation. Well, yeah, what's my investigation like? Oh, my investigation is pretty good. Oh, and I rolled rubbish. 15.
15, still very good.
Yeah, okay. All right, that's good.
Yeah, anything over 10 is considered good.
Yeah, 10's good. All right, I got to 15.
It's
So that's
not,
good.
it's not like Pathfinder where everyone's rolling like 20s.
And was Chevelle investigating as well?
Sure, Cheval will investigate the fish and
Well, we could have.
make sure we don't have repeat incidences as
We have roast fish for breakfast.
Yeah, you've got to be careful of certain fish though.
Okay.
They seem to take your starter class away.
Yeah. I know. I've heard that story. Got to be careful around fish.
What is investigate under?
It's under intelligence.
Normally under intelligence.
Under intelligence. Perfect. I rolled a 15 and got 15.
We both got 15. I rolled a 5.
Okay, so as you're watching, you see a fish near one of the pillars next to the pier, just flopping around on the stone.
And it is actually a fish.
Looks like a fish.
And there's no ropers lying around here. Look around for a stalagmite or stalactite.
Well, there is a pillar next to where it's flopping around.
Okay. How can you tell a pillar from?
If Zal wakes up with like PTSD mention of like a fish flopping around, he's gonna immediately actually pull out his bow this time and prove the paladin wrong. He's not a Federator anymore.
You're asleep though. You can't do it.
Still a failed ranger.
No. Like, I don't know how deep my trauma is, Martin, but do I wake up with mention of a flopping fish?
Well, I'm sure you're having dreams of only pulling out daggers when you want bows.
Mm-hmm.
For no particular reason whatsoever.
Yeah, no reason at all, I'm sure.
And then there's this pain in your side. You're not really sure what's causing it.
I'm pretty sure I know what that is. That's probably like the original scar from from getting stabbed in the chest by a roper.
No, it was bitten all the way through.
Oh, bitten. Yeah, there you go.
I've got an idea.
Mm-hmm.
Stand back.
Mm-hmm.
Summon an unseen servant. Send the unseen servant over to pick up the fish.
Okay. It picks up the fish and is looking at you.
Oh, it looks at me, does it? I thought they were invisible or something. I'm not sure.
Well, you think it's looking at you because the fish has turned.
No, fish has turned. Turned what?
Turned more towards you than just flopping. It's
Okay.
now in the air.
Oh, okay. It looks like a fish.
As far as you can tell, it's a fish.
No, bring the unseen surfing over with fish. Have a closer look. Is it a fish?
It is a fish.
And it doesn't have any rope attached to it.
Doesn't have a roper attached to it. Still flopping around in your hand.
Does it look edible?
It's a fish.
I'm not the cook. Who? Somebody was a good cook. Who's a good cook in the team? Or don't we have a cook?
I mean, Chauvel's uses an oven from time to time, but you know.
Usually it's Yodru.
Yeah, okay. So
I don't think Calcrix is a bad cook.
So we need Yodri to actually pilot a barge. We need Yodri to cook breakfast. We seem to really miss Yodri.
Bradshaw might be a good cook.
I thought
I seem to
Bradshaw's
remember
special.
Bradshaw cooking breakfast or something at one point.
I thought Bradshaw's specialty was drinking rather than cooking.
I can attempt to cook. I don't know if I'm good or not.
You could
I'm in the
find out.
I'm in the same category. I could try. We'd probably
Yeah, Zal like turns in his sleeves, just like don't let her cook.
Actually, Chauvel has a really good idea.
Burning hands.
No.
Fireball.
That's weird. No, I know what it's for.
I don't like the sound. of it.
Chauvel goes over there and I was like, I need to borrow this for a second.
Okay, give him the fish,
He's gonna slap
Yep.
Zal with the
and
fish.
I will
Okay.
give him the fish and back away.
Mm-hmm. You now hold a flopping fish.
Cool. I'm going to tie a rope to the fish.
Yep.
You're gonna fish for fish, are you?
Yep.
I may suffer exhaustion for this, but Chauvel is going to wait until Zal gets up.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
That's not exactly cooking the fish.
No, it's not.
No, Chauvel's gonna lay a trap.
Okay.
It's not a trap, it's just having fun.
It's not exactly slapping her with the fish, but it might as well be. Or slapping him, I should say. Apologies.
Okay, so looks like the sound of fish occasionally splashing is what keeps you through the night.
Well, all this is far. I can't just start a conversation. So I go sit by the river and just stare at it and ponder questions like fate and what the hell am I doing and all that sort of thing. Proshka, we play a bit of cards, but not his cards.
Okay, so yes, that your rest of your time passes with the chill of the river.
Okay, it's cold.
I presume I'm on watch alone for the last watch.
Well, you've got Eve.
Yeah, well, that's fine. I mean, I'm happy with Eve.
Okay, so yes, it's time for Anton and Chauvel to get their rest.
Chauvel's going to suffer an exhaustion and lay a trap for Zal, as she said.
Fun. So the way Chauvel has done this is that he's just tied the rope to the fish, and he's kind of laid the rope from the fish past Zal, and then Chauvel was like hiding.
For the next couple of hours?
Yep.
Okay.
He did say he's going to get an exhaustion,
Mm-hmm.
but that's okay.
I will
I
happily take
will.
penalty for the small joke, okay?
I will take watch. I presume Eep doesn't notice the rope or the fish.
Eve does, but he's really unconcerned.
Okay, cool. That's fine. Otherwise, I might have to put Eep on my shoulder and leave the fiery angel to her fiery angel stuff.
Angel of darkness.
Mm.
Angel of death.
Look, I'm sitting with the very neutral fiery angel term. I like my soul where it is.
Okay, so as you're resting, I will give you a insight roll.
Insight. I haven't written down what insight gets measured by yet.
Normally wisdom.
Not the sparkly side. Why is the D20 not on the sparkly side? I do not understand. D20 gets all the sparkles.
Well, so you've got a reason to turn off the D20 side, otherwise you never would.
Ooh. That's not bad. 16. And I'm proficient, so that's 11. So that's 27.
Okay, so while you're on watch, you do remember some stories of dragon outposts.
What kind of stories?
Well, normally about what they keep secret.
Okay. And what sort of things do they keep secret?
One of the main things is every outpost has a teleportation circle.
Ah, I was going to say, if you tell me to make it up, I'm going to go, there's a teleportation circle somewhere here.
We didn't find it, though.
I didn't look for it.
And they're normally well hidden in case someone else comes across them.
Okay. So we didn't roll one off in our searching. Can I steal another blanket? I am freezing.
Yep. Take Star Wars.
Star Wars, I got Star Wars. Thank you.
Got it. And if you continue to freeze, there's 2 more blankets over there. Actually, no, if you continue to freeze, I'll pull out one of the really big mints. Just to make fun of you and show it off.
Okay.
As long as you don't mind being made fun of.
I don't mind made fun of if it means I get warmth.
Okay, so every outpost has a teleportation circle. I'm guessing probably in the tower.
You think about it,
Mm-hmm.
and it would be in a defensible position.
So I would look for the area with the most abjuration wards. So I feel like I can safely do that without abandoning my post, considering there's a cheval waiting very stealthily for Zal to wake up.
You Cheval cackling madly at some point.
No.
I said stealthily.
Cheval won't cackle madly until the trap's sprung.
I don't think cackle madly is quite the right term. I think just cackle in absolute joy.
Okay, you do expect that the 3 dragon buildings would need to be activated to activate the circle. Most likely a fail-safe to stop others from using it.
So it likely needs 3 dragons to activate a teleportation circle. And presuming if the old Drazzle is here, we only have 2.
He's not here at the moment.
No.
You might be able to activate all 3, but you wouldn't then be able to deactivate them.
Well, I don't think I'd be irresponsible enough to activate them without being able to deactivate them. This river's going to lead us towards the coast we want to go to anyway.
And you expect it to pass through the Dragon Academy on the way.
Okay. And I can't see the symbols for the teleportation circle and therefore get the GPS location for my own collection of teleportation circles, unless I activate it.
You expect that's also part of the security.
Yeah.
Even TrueSight can't see something that doesn't exist.
Bummer. In the old Ted and Bill and Ted adventure term.
But you're sure it would have one if you were to activate it all?
Yes. Yep.
Which would also be why they removed all their treasures.
Yep. I presume knowledge of it being here isn't gonna help me locate it later, though.
It will, because all you have to do is go upstream from their academy.
Upstream from which academy? Quite a few of them have been mentioned.
The one in Ylaruam.
Ylaruam Academy. Okay,
Mhm.
cool. Because you said the Dragon Academy as well, and so I wasn't sure if you meant the Dragon.
The Ylaruam city is also the the Ylaruam National Dragon City is also a water academy.
So that's away from Ylaruam City. We're just at their Magic Academy.
Yes, sorry, it is east of Ylaruam City,
Okay, cool.
where the river goes.
Yeah. Well, I guess there's not too much more I can do about that at this point. Just, taking the knowledge. Eve and I might catch some fish for breakfast.
Okay.
How many fish do we catch?
Give
It's a
me-
competition.
Give me a profession roll.
A what? A profession?
Oh, sorry. Do you have any fishing kit?
No. I could borrow one from someone if they had one, though.
I'll make it an acrobatics check.
Okay. I don't have proficiency in acrobatics.
Sleight of hand?
Sleight of hand? I don't think I have sleight of hand either. No.
Survival?
I do have survival. I do survival? Okay. Thank you, Gary. Survival. Which one does survival come under? Dexterity?
Normally wisdom.
Wisdom. Okay. That is not a bad choice. I'm on the right side. Ooh, 18. 18 plus 11 is 29.
Okay, so you grab enough to feed everyone.
Do I roll for Eep as well because we're having a competition?
You can.
Does Eep use the same stats as I do?
Sure.
Okay. Eep's going to get
Makes it a fair
natural 20.
competition.
Natural 20 for Eep.
Okay, Neep wins.
No, Eep loses. Eep gets a 4 plus 11. Eep gets 15. Eep is not a natural fisher.
I thought you said natural 20.
No, I'm like projecting.
Okay.
I was trying to project a natural 20 for Eep because I wanted Eep to win. Could we say Eep rolled first and Eep won?
Completely up to you.
We'll say Eep won. Eep caught more fish than Calbrix. She's got multiple leaves. She can like spear extra fishes.
And there's at least one eel of unusual size.
Does Eep eat that?
No, Eep was catching food, not eating it.
Oh, okay. Does Eep want to eat it?
Eep doesn't need to, but Eep will consume anything you ask Eep to.
I'm not going to ask Eep to. I'll just prepare eel, or see if anyone in the group is prepared to prepare eel. We might even dry it and make eel jerky.
Mm-hmm.
That'll take a while.
Yeah, maybe.
Probably quicker to smoke it on Showbell.
I'll bring the eel in my mouth like a puppy to Cheval and ask permission.
Why is there an eel over near me?
I would like to smoke the eel. It would be a quick way of cooking eel. Fresh food. Fresh food, yummy.
Last time I heard smoking eels was bad for you.
You've had smoky eel before?
Yes, I have had smoky eel before.
And you don't like it?
Too rubbery.
Oh. Calcrix goes up to the next person who might be awake. Smoky eel?
No, you wake up Zal.
Smoky eel?
What? Look at this eel in my face.
Smoky eel?
Dripping.
Dripping. Oh, okay. Oh,
Is it actually an eel? Do you want to check that?
Is it eel of unusual size?
Eel or smoked eel?
Want a smoke eel?
It is an eel that is about 5 times as long as you are.
Cheval doesn't
Oh,
like
okay.
eel. She says it's rubbery.
That's rather large.
But I want to smoke the eel so I can eat the eel.
Don't,
Is it fresh food?
Okay.
Cheval's now going to start like pulling the rope, and hopefully the sound of like a flopping fish getting closer and closer to Zal.
Considering it's been out of the water now for about 4 hours, you do notice a fish being dragged towards Zal.
Who is Cheval? Zal does?
Calcrix does.
Calcrix looks down at the fish being dragged towards Zal and just tilts her head. And then looks at Zal, and then looks at the fish being dragged towards Zal, and then looks at Zal. Then she looks for who might be pulling the fish. Because...
Zal turns to the sound of a fish being dragged along the stone.
Zal's like watching this fish progress along the ground
Towards you.
towards me.
Mm-hmm. Tail first.
Great.
My eel's bigger. Can we smoke my eel? Like, not as a cigarette, but like to eat? Well, not a cigarette, pipe. That's what Calcrix would know in this world.
Zal's just like looks between Calcrix, the fish being dragged towards me. And it's just like it's too early in the morning for this.
And the eel with a head almost bigger than yours.
It feels pretty
Yeah.
big.
Is it dead?
Yeah.
Okay.
Zal's just like it's too early in the morning for this, and
Calcrix and Eve are just patiently waiting.
Can we smoke it later when we're not, underground?
At which point the fish bops into your side on the ground.
You're getting hit by fish.
Okay. There's dead fish at my point. I've got an eel of unusual size, like bouncing in my face due to a very happy dragon catching it.
Calcrix will take pity on Zal, give the eel to eat to mind until they can cook it, and she will make you coffee.
Cheval will just like jiggle the rope to make it imitate like it's flopping around.
Okay, so then you start feeling the dead fish flopping against your side. You're being slapped by it with a dead fish.
I'm waiting for you to pick up that fish and slap Cheval with it.
I was just about to say, I'm very tempted.
How does she see me?
Not yet.
No, I was very tempted to do I see the rope?
Yes. It's not hidden.
It's pretty obvious that it's like a rope.
A dead fish on a
being
rope.
jiggled by someone.
That is fairly obvious, yes.
I'm
Some
thinking
would
Monty
say
Python fish dance.
Yeah, could
Some,
be.
some would say it's a roast fish, reminding of someone's past.
I don't know if I have enough strength to do this, but can I pick up the rope and like yank it as hard as I can to like potentially like make whoever's holding onto the other end like fall over or at least fall in their face or
Give me an athletics check.
embarrassing.
Athletics check.
Athletics.
Posed by Chauvel's athletics check.
Yeah.
Uh,
I feel like I should help. But I'm not going.
athletics. Oh, yay. Actually, that should be +7 now because I have a +7 strength. So
Fuck.
yeah, I'm probably not gonna get it, but 18.
What did Josh get?
28.
Okay,
Yep.
so you go in yank and you seem to pull a muscle.
Ow.
And
Right.
somehow the fish slapped you in the face at the same time.
I was about to go yank back at the same time.
Can I let go of the rope?
You can, you've just got this wet mark on the side of your face where a fish slapped you.
No, but it, like I would like hopefully time my letting go at the same time that Chauvel like yanks the rope back.
You didn't quite make it in time, but you did let go before being pulled away.
Okay, well that's
She floundered, I'm sorry.
I look around, I see that the only person who is missing is Chauvel.
There's also a line of rope leading to the fish and then leading away from you.
Yeah,
It's not like
I'm just
that
like,
is,
haha, very funny, nice joke.
I pull out of the bushes and give you a thumbs up. And then you're like, failed ranger!
What's that about small minds and small amusements? That's where Calcrix falls, though.
Caprice is very amused.
Yeah.
Caprice doesn't try to do the thing with the same thing with the eel in Chauvel.
No.
I'm so tempted to.
She's not mean. She doesn't want to be mean to Zal. Zal looks like she's having a hard morning.
Okay, then you get the smell of coffee not long after you hear the sound of Chauvel calling out from the bush that manifested in the stonework somehow.
Calcrix sees this as the way Chauvel and Zal show love to each other. Because Zal has mentioned that she kind of misses being called a failed ranger at times.
Yep.
And so the rest of the party occasionally call her a failed ranger when Chauvel goes walkabout for a bit. So she kind of just sees this as their weird family way of showing they care.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now that Chauvel's had her fun, she will attempt to smoke the eel.
Eep happily walks over to Chauvel and attempts to do the playful thing he was doing with Zal.
Oh,
please
is
get
he
something
role-playing
Neil.
love?
Please.
He is role-playing
So you're seeing
love.
this 1 foot tall plant swinging this about 30-meter long eel as if it's a toy.
Can I pick up the 30-meter long eel with the 1 foot plant attached to it?
Not easily.
Not easily?
No, it weighs close to a ton.
Wow, that is
The-
one
the-
hell of
the-
an eel.
Oh.
No, it's not the eel that weighs a ton.
No, it's
It's
deep. It's deep. But I could easily handle the eel.
I think Eep just wants to be a part of the family.
He tries to copy what other people do.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
because
what-
that's how he eats.
Well, if he's trying to copy, he'd also be slapping Zal with it.
Well, Zal's currently having coffee and he's learnt not to disturb anyone having coffee.
That is
Okay,
true.
maybe-
It is the number
okay.
one
Maybe
rule
you could
in-
slap Chauvel with the eel.
I'll say to Eve, haha, very funny. I'll happily cook the eel for you.
And you hear him go, Michael! And then drop the eel on you.
Yeah. Sure.
Please, you get like some sort of blood, like non-damaging bludgeon damage. Yeah.
At about 30 feet long, it does weigh close to a ton. It's all muscle.
That's why it's rubbery.
Mm-hmm.
Cow Creeks is just going to enjoy chewing on that.
Chevelle, like, in flames, will start to, like, curl up and, attempt to cook it with burning hands, I guess.
I have a feeling that it's just watching in awe now.
Mm-hmm. Always happy to see how other people do stuff.
Well, it's someone cooking food.
What kind of, plans? Like, Chevelle wants to make this, like, a special kind of meal. Would Chevelle be able to recognise any kind of like herbs and vegetation that we could use to kind of give a bit of zest to the eel?
It would be nice, but you're in what is a landing on a river, and there's no actual plant growth down
I
here.
have spices and herbs. Like, I've got a ton of those. You can
Well,
help
someone
yourself
wants
to
to-
my bag. So now there's a comedic scene where Chevelle pulls out a whole range of random implements trying to get to the herbs and spices in one of Calcrix's bags.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And the clattering is echoing around the cabin.
I'm gonna treat your bag as like you're going through customs.
Yeah, pretty much.
Nope, 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 nope.
Oh, I found the illegal item. Now you can put your stuff back in.
Yeah. Eat will run around and collect all the stuff. It's a game to her now. Because this is what Calcrix does whenever she needs to find things in a bag.
Yeah.
And Chauvel notices every time he pulls something out and puts it down, Eep is pushing it back into the bag.
Yeah, thank you.
So you've pulled the same thing out at least 3 times now.
Yep. Right. I'll just.
Calcrix yells over to you. Just think of the item you want, and it'll come out in your hand.
Okay. I'll think of the herbs and spices.
Okay, you do get a various herbs and spices coming out. Some you haven't seen before.
Ooh.
At one point, Calcrix faces over and goes, "Not that!" and then runs away, clutching into it.
That's good because I was about to dip my finger in it and lick it.
Though there is a lot of saffron.
Yeah, there is. There's...
Including a jar of saffron with a paintbrush.
Chevelle will attempt to cook up some nice eel for everyone.
Okay.
Breakfast is served.
So, Anton wakes to the smell of cooked eel.
Cooked eel.
Char cooked.
Charcoal. Does it actually look edible? Is this a... Is it, you know,
Well, it is this big pile of looped around itself with this big head on top.
She made an effort. I think it should taste great.
well, okay, I don't want to insult anyone. I'll try it.
It actually tastes nice-ish. It's rubbery. It is gamey, and it has interesting spices.
Okay, do you have any garum in your collection?
Garum being a spice. Calcrix
sauce.
literally has just every kind of...
That's a
If
sauce.
she's been to the city, she's got the source of the spice.
Okay.
Now you do see Eep offering you a cookie. Apparently, you wanted a condiment, so he got you a cookie.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you, Eep.
Ooh, next time we should make a crumb base out of the cookies, and then like a parmigiana, but with cookie crumbs.
Eep nods enthusiastically
Yeah. The one thing about
and starts crushing up cookies.
the
Calcrix will dip her eel in it.
food leaves some desired in this group, I think.
Oh no, it's good. He said it was good. It's just a little bit rubbery because it's
No, I've got high standards on food.
Just think like it's if you're eating game as opposed to like poultry.
Don't worry, if you travel with the Wednesday group, they have a chef who hasn't got an equal.
Okay. Hasn't got an equal. That could mean lots. That could mean extraordinarily good, extraordinarily bad.
Well, they put him down as extraordinarily good because, well, he did retire from being a master assassin.
Okay.
Yeah, look, I would not be the critique for an assassin who's cooking food now. I have a feeling I might end up in his pot at some point.
Well, he has books on cooking everything.
Yeah, okay. What's he putting in? As an assassin, I'd be worried about what else he's putting in.
Exactly.
Well, he does come from a community that is waste not, want not. Whatever he kills, he's happy to prepare.
I remember good food.
To thank Chevelle for her effort, I bring over a coffee that tastes like it's got chili in it.
Probably has chili in it.
It does. Chili coffee.
Enough to get Chevelle flaming.
I know what her new name will be.
What?
She can't be mistress of the burn anymore. She can be mistress of the spice.
Spicy.
Spicy angel.
I put my piece of eel in my cheese bag and eat it.
I'm gonna stop you right there. I'm not becoming a spice girl. Thank you.
You don't want to be Angel Spice?
Aww.
No.
Definitely spice.
To be honest, I did not think of the Spice Girls when I said that. I just thought it was cool.
You've now given Zal ammunition.
Is that where you walk by and going, spicy?
Am I still playing at this stage? Or am I
Instead of ice baby, it's spice baby.
Well, now there's a chorus.
And yes, Bradshaw is working to the sound of Spice Spice Baby.
I give it a confused look. I was looking at everyone confused going, Spice Baby?
You get offered freshly cooked eel.
I pull an apple out of my pouch and just had an apple.
Aw, really? You're gonna reject the cooking of
Okay.
and you're not gonna share this meal with us?
And caviar is a delicacy of dwarves.
What's the dwarf's view on eel? That's all I know.
Eel is one of their common meats because it is something that can be easily grown underground.
Yeah.
I just look, you look at the eel, look at the eel, and go, I slowly put my hand there, and I'll have a bit and see what it tastes like.
From a dwarf's perspective, they've done a brilliant job.
Oh, this is so good, I say.
It's just so chewy, it just seems to have flavour that just lasts and lasts.
I like
Yeah.
it.
So I look for more and more, okay? So, unless people stop. So.
It was
What one
30
person's
foot eel.
dislike is another person's absolute adore.
I'm fine. I've had a cookie. I've had some cheese flavoured eel. Wash it down with some water.
The water of the river is quite refreshing.
Is it?
Yeah.
Safe to drink?
Seems to be safe to drink.
Okay.
Can I put some in?
I'll try the eel with apple mix as well. And I'll try the apple and then the eel and the apple then eel and to the reverse order just to see the taste differences. So, yeah.
I want to try the apple mix and the cheese mix too. Carapace does not look ashamed.
If you want apple, I'll pull an apple out of my apple sack.
Well, Calcrix has gone up to Anton with that puppy dog look up. I want to use your cheese bag.
He just did.
Yeah, you can use my cheese bag. I'd be grateful for an apple, please, Bradshaw.
A cheese
Okay,
bag.
so I'll pull the apple out of the sack because if anyone else wants an apple, I'll just pull it out and hand it over.
I have an apple, so I've had a balanced breakfast.
You don't have a cheese apple?
No, I had a cheesed eel.
Yeah.
Oh, look, we're eating from all the vegetable. No, not all the food groups.
Yeah.
We've got protein. We've got veggies, cheese, which remains in its own food group of its own.
Well, it doesn't make it cheese, it
Cheese
just makes it
should
taste
be
like
a
cheese.
Food group, really? It isn't cheese.
It isn't cheese. It just tastes like cheese.
Oh, well, that's
If
good.
it was going to fall and there's still ill left over, Bradshaw would dig in. Okay, so yeah.
Well, there's enough there that you could eat your body weight about 4 times over, and still have leftovers.
Ooh. And I just checked if we've got a small pouch to have some road eel. So yeah.
Can we store any of the eel we can't eat?
You can, just as long as you don't put it into a extra dimensional space.
No, just in my normal food stores.
I'll have some road eel in my little pouch just in case. But I feel quite fulfilled now. So
Does Zal eat eel?
I've probably had it at some point, but I'll try some.
Yes, you do find it fairly comparable.
My beads.
You feel it very comparable to your normal Ethengarian meals.
Where did it go?
Behind you.
God, it went all the way. I'll try not to drop it.
Well, I watched Chauvel make it, so you know.
The Ethengarian taste is probably obvious.
Mm.
And it is quite spicy, as well as flavorful.
Well, now there's another reason to call her the Mistress of Spice. It's not calling her a spice girl, though, right?
Yeah, just call it Angel Spice. I'm sure that will work.
No, I won't do that. I like my soul where it is.
Well, I'm not sure which is worse, Angel Spice or Spice Angel.
I said Mistress of Spice.
Angel of Spice?
There's no angel in it. It's just Mistress of. I have a Mistress of Darkness. I see this as a perfectly good alternative as a Mistress of Spice. It's better than calling her Mistress of Death.
True.
Although scarier, probably. But
I don't know. Having announcing the Mistress of Spice on the battlefield might turn some heads.
well, you think about it. Calric thinks of you as her dad. She thinks of Chauvel as kind of like her mother figure. She don't want to be scared of her mother figure. And Yodri's kind of like her uncle.
Okay, so with the morning-ish, as you can't tell,
What we think of as morning.
what you think of as this morning, temperature hasn't changed, the light hasn't changed. Though you do hear a gong sound somewhere nearby,
Really?
Can we figure out where it's from?
roughly around when you would expect sunrise to be.
No, but where's it coming from?
Somewhere in the settlement.
Here, within this cave.
Do we
Okay.
presume it to be a magical gong that's set on automated either sunrise, either sunset type thing?
You would expect something like that.
Okay, so we don't suspect it's evidence of people that are hiding.
You wouldn't expect people to be hiding after you've been here, especially cooking and slapping people with fish.
I didn't slap anyone with a fish. But I'm going to head over down to the boat.
Okay,
barge.
yes. As you head down to the barge, it is big enough for you to walk on in dragon form.
I will walk on in dragon form and
Okay.
look around.
As you walk onto it, you see parts of it light up with runes.
Pretty! I will also take note of the runes so I can sketch them later.
Okay, they seem to be simple instructions. Basically, activate rune to travel. And each rune
just
is a
as
different
Eat
destination.
goes to press one of those runes, Calcrix catches her and puts her on the shoulder and will wait till everybody on board.
is the boat in the middle of the water, or is it something we get?
It's floating on the water next to a pier that has gone out
Okay.
into the river.
Yeah. I'm worried about a certain heavy armor.
yell to everyone, "It's got instructions! Come on!"
Okay.
I kind of go, try to put my finger up my mouth just to keep it down a bit, but yeah.
I don't think Calcrix is worried about other people right now. They would have turned up if they were going to be here.
Bradshaw still says, "It's a bit too loud for the morning, okay?"
I've had my coffee. I'm all good.
Bradshaw goes, "I haven't had a beer yet, I'm not good."
Calcrix will hand you coffee.
Bradshaw only says beer, sorry.
Really?
Yeah.
Calcrix looks at you very sadly.
You now have a line of coffee a coffee flavored beer you need to make.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Giving you suggestions to your Aaron. So.
No, this is not a suggestion. It's one that's been suggested before. I think she actually has an ale-based coffee. I think
If you produce that, if you let me know about that, I'm willing to taste it. Okay?
She doesn't have all of her coffee things on her, so I don't think she has the ale one on her. I think it's only available at the Knights Rivet Inn. Is that right now?
I'll take the front of the boat. Tend to be I'm going to do like some sort of boat thing that somebody else that wanted to prepare to an iceberg somewhere, not inside the D&D environment. So yeah.
So you're going to hold someone up like they're flying?
Calcrix will volunteer. She'd like to be held up like she was flying.
Dragon on Dragonfall, by the way.
Dragonfall. Of large size.
Okay, I could try, but I think it's going to go too well. But yeah.
It will be a Russian success.
It'll be one wet dragon.
Yeah. And then I pretend no. Unless anyone wants to be held while I hold it up, I think that's I'll leave it up to people.
Of course you want the dragon to hold you up so you can fly.
The dragon will happily hold you up so you can fly.
I just fly up going, okay. Hang on, wait till the middle of the boat starts down, okay? So.
You know the dragon? Yeah, Calcrix will do that. She'll just you give the dwarf a proper experience.
It's off the dwarf's bucket list of flying. Okay, yeah.
Turn into a dragon's plane.
Pretty much.
Okay, so that's the vision everyone else has as they approach the barge.
But gently.
Calcrix using Bradshaw as a toy plane.
Okay.
Put your arms out, you'll get better aerodynamics.
That may be related to a certain TV show that I'll not mention right now. So, yeah.
Which TV show are we relating to that we're not mentioning?
I was looking at the American Hero. Is that the one? Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I know which one you're talking about. Yep.
Yeah.
I couldn't think of it for a bit.
Yeah. No, I haven't seen it for ages, but I do remember the song. It's probably good for flying.
I do remember the song as well. Yeah. Okay, so yes, you get on the boat, I'm assuming.
Yep.
And as you do, E pushes the rune.
If people are happy, E would love to push the rune.
Okay.
Well, you had to wait.
Yeah.
You didn't wait to see if people were happy.
You strike an inspiring pose at the front, Bradshaw. When you're on the prow of the boat.
Yes, I would be on one knee, holding my warhammer forward, okay?
The most inspiring pose of them all.
The prow of the boat is about 45 feet wide.
I was gonna say, you one of those, you know, how they have like a siren or something like off the front of the ship. You're pretending to be one of those.
Just checking what I can
Calcrix
do.
is pretty strong. She can hold you out while you pretend to be a siren.
And potentially even dunk you in the water so you can do it properly.
No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm trying to make friends with the dwarf. I do not want to dunk him in water unless he asks to.
Well, it's only about laughing.
I asked Will nicely to do a battle cry that got in dwarves. As we move forward. I asked Will nicely.
Okay, let's see what the battle cry will be.
It also says here, it shows that applies rules when used in combat, but I'm not sure I can ask outside combat.
So, who are you attacking?
Well, I'm not attacking anyone, but I was just asking.
Practice attack.
Yeah, it's a practice combat. Yeah.
Well, we'll be showing you how to do it properly.
Ask nicely. Have the weapon. If not, I will try to do my best at it, right?
I could do Dragon Roar, but you guys might suffer damage.
Yeah, no, that's right.
Okay, you sort of expect that he is basically, well, one will only actually do it if he's attacking something.
No, okay. I do my better part of the learned as a young warrior part of the city watch kind of thing, so.
Because it only shouts in combat.
Yeah,
Literally,
well,
if you're
it's worth a shot. It's worth a shot.
Should this be a Lion King moment where you know Simba's like wah, wah, doesn't do a really good job, so Mufasa comes up behind and goes roar.
That would work.
So I'll try to, from my warrior training with the work of the city watch before I left, I will kind of try to remember my training in battle price, and see if I can pull one off.
Give me a performance roll.
Okay, here we go. 15.
15. Okay, so you do a roar, and I believe Calcrix was going to join you with a roar.
She was. Do I have to do a
Performance roll as well.
I'm roaring at the drag. Oh, it's another
No. The dragon is backing you up.
Well, he's trying to get all his bucket list stuff off before he lies again in this form.
27.
26?
27.
27. Okay, so you get this really nice dwarven roar going, and then suddenly it's completely drowned out as everyone's ears start to ring.
At least it's in Dwarvish.
And Brett Bradshaw is left with this spots before his eyes. That roar was amazing.
But Calcrix is just learning from a friend.
Hey, it was a fantastic roar in a cavern.
It was with great acoustics. That was just.
Yeah, no. I feel that it's still back at this time, so it's off the woman bucket list. So I was like, and once my eyes recover and I feel like I'm back to normal, I go, I'm going, I'll pat you on whatever, as high as I can reach the dwarf on your shoulder. And I go, nicely done, I say.
And you realise you can't hear yourself speak.
I know, but I just to like keep my eyes back to normal, I just go over and I just feel, oh, I can't hear myself. And I kind of try to find a spot to sit down for a bit and just try to see if I recover.
And then you look at Calcrix mouthing to you. She's like, was it good enough? Should I try it again?
I can't hear you, so
Do I need to practice more?
You see a very eager dragon bouncing, waiting for your response. Not sure what the dragon has asked.
I'll just give it a thumbs up. How does that sound?
Okay.
Oh, no.
Another performance roll.
What do I do? Shit.
Me?
Does anyone stop me?
You did great. That was a great roar, Calcrix. I don't think you could do better.
No one else seemed to hear it, but you did get encouragement from Anton to go better.
No, I said you can't do better.
You're not going to make me roll again, are you? Oh, jeez. Roll low for once.
Okay.
I cast
silence.
For a long
We
time.
need another 4.
20?
1.
Oh, one.
1.
Okay.
A natural 1.
Okay. So, as you yell out, you seem to cough up some of the food.
I've lost my voice. I've been roaring too much. I'm like, roll low for once. It's like, you go, 1.
Well, I believe she was trying to impress the dwarf with her singing.
So the food flies right up the face of the dwarf, is that what you're saying?
I believe that is correct.
Oh.
Yeah. And I give you a thumbs up, and all of a sudden I see this throwing up food straight in my face at you, and I give you a look of going, why?
Sorry.
Yeah.
And, hey, you sure the dragon was just sharing? Maybe the dragon thought you were a young dragon.
Oh, no. No, don't. Look, I need to keep the food that
I go back to my book and I take another item off and throw it up by a dragon.
thrown up on by a dragon.
So,
Oh, man.
and I'm thinking to myself out in my head going, jeez, I've done a lot of good things today. Yeah.
You've eaten eel, you've been thrown up on.
And I'm sure Will's sighing at the moment as well. Okay.
Yes, you can hear Whelm sighing, unlike everything else. Takes about half an hour for everyone to get their hearing back.
I'm sitting down just
Sol doesn't just go around and heal people.
I think it was safety having the hearing not working.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah. Do I get any remonstrative looks?
Eep seems to be wanting you to go again and again.
I want to keep my eel. I liked it. It was yummy. I don't want to have it a second time.
Okay. So yes, takes you about 2 days travel by barge. And you find yourself coming into another large cavern, this time with light in various places around it.
Light from where? Like from up above? Or
From what
around?
appear to be crystal globes.
Oh, okay. Wow.
And it looks to be a sprawling city.
Is this the one?
Is this the water temple? The water academy?
It is the Water Academy. Hidden City of Dragons. Looks like it can house over 100 dragons here.
Oh, wow. That's enormous.
And probably sprawls for quite a few miles in a single cavern. And you can see it goes up many levels and down many levels as the river goes past it, stopping at a pier. Looking into the academy itself, there seems to be only a single occupant, being a gigantic blue dragon.
Is it right here?
Yep.
Right.
So typically, Calcrix will bounce off the boat towards the dragon.
It's bigger than this other dragon. It's bigger than Calcrix, isn't it?
Oh yeah. Yeah, look, he's big.
It looks at you currently with spectacles on.
I have preempted this, haven't seen the dragon, and pulled a book out of my bag to offer as a gift. Oh, which book? I don't know if I've got a named book, but I'll check. I've got a lot of books. Oh, I know. I don't know if it'll be thought well of, but I've got several copies of Drazzle's books. I'm going to offer it one of the nicely bound versions of Drazzle's books.
Okay.
A compendium.
He seems very excited to get it.
Because I figure Drazzle being a blue dragon born, the blue dragon would probably like this.
It really likes the fact that it's a signed book.
And I'll also bow deeply. And then, like, if we're talking blue dragon, are we talking that blue dragon over there or just above Gary?
That blue dragon.
Is it possible to put that blue dragon on the table? Is
We
Gary
can put it
able
on
to
the
reach
table.
it?
This one?
You shouldn't be stuck. But you might have to take the white dragon out to get to the blue dragon. Ooh. It'll just be blue tack if it's anything. No, good blue tack.
No, you're right. It's just blue tack.
Yeah, it should just be blue tack. I'm going to say just for the camera.
For the camera. There's a nice blue dragon for you.
So Calcrix is, what size is the dragon?
He would be gargantuan in size.
So he's gargantuan. So Calcrix, the large dragon, is looking at the gargantuan blue dragon and looking at the blue dragon's horn and just going, wow. Really impressive piece of defensive / aggressive equipment. She doesn't have anything like that.
Bradshaw will tap you on the shoulder as far as I can tap you, and say, a friend of yours?
I don't know this dragon.
Yeah, you've not studied here before.
I will say greetings, Rivet One in Draconic. My name is Calbrix, also in Draconic. I offer you this gift in honor of your. She's kind of stuttering because she hasn't come across a blue dragon. She hasn't come across dragons in a long time, like proper big dragons. Not since the cosmic dragons. No, is it cosmic dragons? No,
The gemstone
dragons.
They told you about the other dragons.
Yeah.
Okay, so she accepts your greeting. Oh, sorry, he accepts your greeting. Can't tell between them. Most of the time, they just look very similar.
Dragons can, but yeah.
And he says he has prepared a for your arrival.
Ooh.
And you see Druzzle coming out with a set of books for Calbrix.
Oh, wow. Okay, I can add books to my list.
He has a set of books on watercraft.
Oh, this will be handy. I'm going to have to hide them from your tree. I'll also introduce my friends.
If I get the opportunity, I'll also greet the dragon in Draconic, introduce myself and say, it's a pleasure to meet you, oh great book dragon. I hope you'll accept my gift, and I get out one of my handmade bookmarks that I also work on in my downtime, and give it to the dragon.
Okay.
The bookmark, which usually has a motif of a horse. Though probably, I'll see if I can find one that has a dragon likeness. Probably looks a little bit like Calbrix when she was a baby dragon.
Okay. He
Adorable.
accepts your gift and gestures for Druzzle to give you his gift in return, which is what appears to be a plush blue dragon toy.
Oh, so cute.
I humbly accept your gift, great dragon.
Calcrix secretly envies the plush dragon. But she knows that the books are supposed to be more adult and better.
Does get a wink from the big dragon Calcrix's way. And turns and looks at Bradshaw.
Does Bradshaw speak Draconic?
No chance.
Calcrix will
so-
translate for you.
Can I, before I get introduced, like I watch everyone like to go, I ask Will, saying, what's the proper form of greeting for a dragon? I never got taught that.
It says, speak nicely, politely, don't lie, stand up straight, don't swing a weapon at it, don't hold a weapon, don't draw a weapon.
Yep, okay, I do what Will does in my best way possible.
And Calcrix will explain that she will translate to Draconic because it's polite.
And then says, and lastly, most importantly, don't forget the gift.
Yeah. I'm thinking what I've got in my container.
It doesn't have to be expensive, it just has to mean something.
Okay,
Calcrix did educate you when you first came, she said, just in case you need
I
dragons.
know exactly what I'm looking for, because I had about fairly few hundred gold worth of gems in my bag of holding, so I'll pick up approximately $100 worth, and I say, Great Dragon, hope you accept these as a gift. I didn't know what would be best for you, so I bought these, which I thought might be handy for your treasure pile. So.
It accepts your donation, and in return, it promises not to eat you.
That's actually a pretty good deal.
I think that's fair, I say, and I walk backwards and try and make sure I get
Well, it says, think better next time. Wealth is not a thing that most dragons care about unless you take from them.
Okay. I mentioned, well, next time you need to make some better gifts than that.
It recommends making something yourself.
You've got to have skill.
It's hard to do that on the spot, which is why Caprix always has that. That's why she goes to markets and buys materials. She's
And
always crafting things.
it's why most dwarves are always seen crafting stuff, because it's part of their culture to give people gifts of things that they have made themselves.
Some people don't have
You know
it
what you
much
should have
time.
given the dragon? Some of the eel. But too late. It's
Okay.
Cheval's turn.
Turns and looks at Cheval.
And like 50 kilos of it.
Does Cheval speak Draconic?
Does Cheval speak Draconic?
You would think after all these years between Calcrix and I, we would have taught you Draconic.
Not
No.
necessarily.
We've got to do it officially.
I will officially start teaching you Draconic. Weren't we doing classes for like the couple of team members that
We did.
like Bradshaw and that we started doing lessons? Did we
And
do that
and
all?
your Dreed, but I believe Cheval was above all that, being the
Harry
Green
knows
Danger.
Draconic. You had one character that knew it.
If you're talking to the wordsmith, Zal, who knows like 10 languages now? Hang on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Actually, learning the 12th, which is what Ylaruam.
You were teaching me at least one language, but I cannot remember which one. And I should chase it.
Ethengar and
It was either
Oh, yeah,
Ethengar, maybe Celestial, maybe Goblin, I'm not sure. No, you know
No, I
Goblin.
know Goblin, but definitely Ethengar and Celestial, because I wanted to talk to your horse.
So Draconic is a no from me. I have Alphathian, Annihilation, Abyssal, Celestial, and Elven, Orcish, Primordial, and Solidar.
well, you're sure that they will understand Thiatic because everyone else does.
Yeah.
So, you've seen everyone offer the dragon a gift. What does Cheval offer?
What do I offer?
What does you or your above gifts?
No, I give.
She's given gifts before.
I know, I was just asking.
Cheval will offer a weapon.
You offer a...
I offer up a weapon by one of my morning stars.
Okay, and what do you say about it as you offer it?
I will say this was probably one of the first training weapons that I used as a paladin before I became proficient in my blade skills.
Okay. It accepts your offering, and it has, Draz will give you a book. Title of it is Identifying Necromancy 101.
Identifying necromancy dummies.
Pretty much, yes.
Beautiful.
But able to tell the white necromancers from the black, it says.
Yes, subtitle.
Hey, the blue dragons do have a tendency to deal in time magic as well. So, and then it turns and looks at Anton.
Anton knows what's going on, but doesn't actually have any craft skills at all. So is
You usually tell a story as a gift. You offer to tell a story as
I have offered to tell a story before. I can also teach a card trick.
Oh yeah, you've done that as well.
So I don't know that since I do not have Draconic, I don't think either of those are practical
I
options.
translate for you. Calcrix will generally translate because she doesn't want to risk offending the dragon, so she always translates.
Always.
She wants to live.
You can offer for Proska to tell it its future.
That's true. That would be fun.
I'm sure that can't go wrong.
Come on.
There's so many things, so much could go wrong with that.
Exactly. We all want you to do it.
Proska wants to do it.
Yeah, Proska wants to do
would
it real
like
bad.
to tell you read your cards for you.
And we'll do a simple telling, which is a single card.
Yeah.
What does fate have in store for this dragon?
It's assuming the dragon wants to know its fate.
It's a water dragon that deals in time. It may already know.
Okay, so... Okay, so it actually gets a... pulls out a card called the Comet.
Oh, okay.
Upside down.
Comet? As in Halley's?
A comet brings dire warnings or devastation.
Okay, it doesn't sound good. If it's upside down, it's the inverse. It's reverse.
Okay, and
Upside down though is the reverse though, isn't it?
it's the reverse meaning, which could be worse than the normal meaning. Most of the
Yeah.
upside down meanings are corrupted.
Oh, okay.
So it's actually bad.
That's not good.
Not good.
Okay, so the dragon laughs.
Oh, I'm glad you're amused.
Okay, it says, I guess Proshka knew what was coming as he gestures for Drazzle to give you something.
Okay, I'm worried about this, but I graciously accept whatever it is I'm about to be given. Stealing myself for something really bad.
A pair of black boots.
I thank them, even though I've got shoes already.
Calprix looks at you
Yeah, but
meaningfully as
these
if to
are
say,
black.
"Put those boots on right now."
I don't know what they do.
The dragon says, apparently a god said that these were meant for you.
A god.
Yeah, okay.
No one he normally talks to, but hey, he made quite a few promises if I gave them to you.
Okay.
Calprix pauses in a translation and goes, what does the upside downy mean?
Upside downy means a treasure formed or shaped by disaster, blood-stained or haunted by former owners.
Oh.
I've already got shoes.
Ooh.
What do my shoes do again? I've got to try and remember them. They're here somewhere. Oh, that's right. They're the ones that help me climb, I think.
And so for those who want to know, that is what the card looks like.
Yeah, okay.
Yep, I know the card well. It's okay.
You know it well. That's a little bit scary.
I've seen it on certain DVD shows, by the way.
Or do they have this deck, do they?
Oh, they have a similar deck, yeah. I think it's... Maybe I'm thinking of the card of many things one, but yeah.
Well, this comes from the deck of many things, just that it
Yeah,
has
then-
more cards than the deck of many
That's
things
right,
has.
yeah. That's
Oh,
right.
no, it's on drawn
My,
on a
shoe,
certain
my
show,
shoes
and I
give me
watched that.
spider climb, that's right.
Will you lose your spider climb?
Well, I can only wear one pair of shoes. You've got 4 feet, I've only got 2.
That's true.
Plus, some things work on some days, other things work on others.
Well, yeah, that's true. You don't have to always wear them.
Okay. Well, I think it would probably be insulting if I didn't try them on, so I'll try them on.
Okay. They fit perfectly.
Well, that's nice.
Does he look any different?
He's now wearing black boots.
Does he feel any different?
I don't feel any different, do I?
You now feel like you're wearing black boots.
Yeah, okay. They are very stylish, I'll give you that. They're very
I don't have
stylish.
spider climb.
And they don't reflect at all in the light.
Okay.
Oh, stealthy boots.
No. just more darkness. I've got a very strong darkness thing going on here.
You might want to put them in a bag.
For the moment, I will wear
Only
them.
when you need them.
I'm not going to insult a gargantuan dragon.
I don't think you should insult the gargantuan dragon either, but Calcrix secretly thinks that after we leave the gargantuan dragon, you could probably put your spider climber boots back on. They seem more helpful. I could be wrong though. I don't know anything about the boots, and they were given to you by a god.
I will wear them for the moment, and I will.
You haven't told anyone who your god is yet, have you?
I don't have a god. I just follow the Tradara shirts, doing the bare minimum I need to do to keep my soul intact.
Does it sound loud, huh?
Probably.
No, I don't. I'm not. I'm saying that this is what you would observe. I've never talked about having a deity.
Calcrix asks these questions, so
No.
Bev
Well,
asks.
Calcrix asked these questions. I want to roll an insight check on that one, right? So,
Sure.
yeah. I think there's more to that, that's all. So.
Calcrix knows there's more to that, but that's just because she's very observant and she's paid a lot of attention to Anton.
Yeah, 17 makes that.
Okay, so you're sure Anton believes that he only gives lip service to the gods. He doesn't actually believe in them beyond the fact they protect him.
Okay, cool. Okay.
Which is true.
It's true. I know it's true, yeah. Still give that kind of suspicious look back to those boots. So, yeah.
Well, he wasn't lying because he doesn't serve Orcus.
I'm
I know,
happy
but
with the.
it's just a Bradshaw magic kind of thing, that's all. So.
I will ask the dragon, since they're expecting our visit, if there's other things that we're meant to do here.
It suggests you spend a week in study,
Happily do that.
and by the time you're finished, he believes those looking for you will have moved on somewhere else.
This sounds good. Perchance, do you have a name you would like to be called by, aside from your eminence, which I'm happy to use?
River will serve me fine, he says, looking at the river.
It's a perfectly pretty name.
Other names will come with time, he says.
Direct me to thy library.
He points to the biggest building.
Of course. Before I undertake my studies, would you like to have coffee or tea with us?
He would appreciate that. And shrinks down to a humanoid form.
Calcrix just looks absolutely speechless for a moment and pulls out her coffee set. She doesn't speak aloud of, "You go in a person form? Ooh, I don't like person forms."
What does he look like in a person form?
Looks like a rather tall elf with bright blue hair.
Okay. I was expecting a dragon-born type thing.
Yeah, usually elf. Calcrix appears as an elf.
Okay,
But she hasn't appeared since she's got different scales. She has no idea what she
I don't think I've ever seen you as an elf.
No one. Only the Tuesday group will have some of the Tuesday group will have seen me for the 10 seconds it required me to enter a tomb, where I had to be in bipedal form to enter it. A special chamber in a tomb. And then I think I was in person form one other time for about as long.
And Druzzle hands him a robe to wrap around himself.
I actually don't. I don't know all about dragons. Most of what I'm dragons just been. Yeah. Okay.
You could just ask.
Well, no, I can't just ask.
He says, yes, you can just ask.
And Ragdoll was going to ask, by the way, no one else did, so yeah.
What are you asking, Bradshaw?
What is
So Ragdoll, like Ragdoll would like to ask our new True Blue Dragon friend, which I never got the name from.
River.
And was it? Sorry?
River.
Ritter. I'll ask you
As
this.
in the river running by.
Yeah, I'll just ask about where we are and just general dragon questions and what Arctis is going through and stuff like that. I mean, it's just more of a you don't want me to talk to dragons, especially if you're getting one. So I didn't mind if River's happy to answer my questions. I'm happy to
He does say he has been pulled away from dragon duties to oversee some of Calcrix's training in the temple.
Okay. And I'll ask the questions on questions saying, is Calcrix really special and things I don't know about. I think so. Yeah.
Calcrix is unusual in the sense of a dragon with more than one element.
Okay. But I'll look at the last general dragon questions that might be helpful in the future. So
Oh, I was white because of Ylaruam. I think here, because it's the blue dragon, I'll just be my natural form. So it might be the first time that you guys have actually properly seen me for more than 2 seconds, where I'm silver, metallic silver all over, then with metallic black and sapphire blue scales. I'm shiny dragon now.
Is it okay if we ask you questions?
Says you may. You're allowed to come here to be educated.
Okay.
Yeah,
Do you
so
believe
I'll
in fate?
whatever time you want to do, I'm happy as much dragon educated as possible, and I will ask characters about who fallen as before.
He does respond to Anton first, saying he is a weaver of fate. He understands it exists and it rules many people.
Okay. Are we all ruled by fate or only some people?
Everyone is ruled by fate, but you do not have to follow fate. You can choose your own.
And Calcrix chimes in with, I chose my own fate, that is why I am metallic now. I determined that I will no longer be the servant of other gods. I will help others instead.
Yeah, Rachel thinks about his experiences and not sure if his faith is already been decided or whether it's still in angst after the first meeting with Rachel. We'll get that discussion. So,
He does look at Bradshaw and says he can see what you're thinking.
Yeah.
And he believes that you have still have a chance to achieve the fate dictated for your final death, but you can choose not to have that just as much as any other dwarf can.
And I'll say that last thing. I don't know how that will affect friends and family based on what.
Well, he says the only way you can achieve your god's afterlife is by the fate dictated at your naming ceremony. That of which you would die by a friend's dagger in the back of your head.
Yeah. That's
Any other death you take means that you can never have your dwarven afterlife.
Calcrix looks at River and goes, that seems rather cool.
Well, they are all given their ultimate hero prophecy.
Does this mean that the person theoretically who kills Bradshaw used to have been a friend but may have been turned?
Has to meet the qualities of the prophecy. Does not mean it is an enemy. Does not mean it is a friend. Just means an ally. Just means that they are a friend of Bradshaw.
I see.
And as some prophecies go, there is a magical item known as Bradshaw's friend that could also be part of the prophecy.
But this end doesn't have to be an unnatural end. It could be a heroic end at the end of a long and well-lived life. Is that correct?
That is correct. It can also be a stupid end, as some dwarves have found out over time.
Calcrix looks very solemnly at Bradshaw and says, I will try to protect you from having a stupid end. My best.
Bradshaw looks like you. He hates bringing up this memory. He can't. He probably needs face impression kind of thing. And he says, "Look, just give me a second," and just walks off. Just wait for everyone. Kind of. He hates this ending. He absolutely despises it, and it pisses him off completely. It makes sense. So,
she's trying to say she's going to try and protect you from that. Though.
No, but I kind of noticed some of the ways that no one protected me from this, and there's no way I walk off.
He can be protected from it. If he's protected from it, he will never go to his dwarven afterlife.
And that's while I want my dwarven afterlife, but I also don't want to go through the process. So it's kind of like I'm half in each kind of. Yeah.
It doesn't mean to stop you from reaching your dwarven afterlife. She just wants you to reach it via a not stupid ending.
Anyway, I appreciate it, but I still walk off because it just pisses the hell out of Bradshaw every time it comes up. I think it makes sense.
I'll look back to River and go, maybe Calcrix's intentions aren't helpful in this sense.
Prophecy does mess with the dwarves a lot because some seek to avoid it for as long as possible. Others seek to embrace it with the sense of they believe they're indestructible falsely if that doesn't happen.
I will look down for a very long moment of reflection and go, I will not interfere with Bradshaw's decision of how he decides he wants to meet his fate.
Just for each dwarf to decide how they wish to go.
As in, I'm not going to try and protect him if he doesn't want to be protected.
But if the event does happen and he does come back from death afterwards, which is his right to do so, he will have given up his afterlife at that point.
So does that mean he can't be resurrected if he gets killed in battle?
He can always be resurrected, but if he's ever resurrected after meeting the prophecy, he can never go to the dwarven afterlife again.
Does he need to have like a note on him to say don't resurrect me if my friend's dagger kills me?
He always gets the choice of coming back.
Maybe a tattoo.
Yeah.
No resurrection, please.
Yeah.
I have a question after the things on my because I've got a feeling I just want to double check something.
Good. And so yes, he turns to Anton and said, "More questions might you have while we have coffee?"
I have lots of questions. It's a question of where to start.
Because you'll have over a week of time to ponder and question.
Calcrix, Anton's thinking of it, wants to know, you have an understanding of time and temporal magic. Is that something that I will learn in time? Unintended?
He laughs and says, yes, time does give you a chance to learn these things, though you do have a guide with you who can teach you such, but he is waiting until you have mastered water before he will teach you time, because time works so much like water as it has currents, and it does ebb and flow, and you can change the flow with just the smallest thing.
I understand this. These good people here, and I nod to Cheval and Zal, changed the flow of my time just by setting me free. And I do not think I would have become the dragon I am today, one that has a respect for non-dragon life, if they hadn't saved me.
He is appreciative of that, because he was opposed to them making you an avatar of Dickesus.
I didn't want to be my mother. Like, I know she's my mother and all, but...
He looks surprised at that.
Oops. Calcrix is just like, I mean in the sense of motherly figure, like God.
He still looks a little bit taken aback.
Well, aren't they both like representative of our parents? That's what the Great One tells me.
Give me a deception check.
It's not a deception check, it's a charm. She's trying to charm. Persuade? Persuade. I'm probably not. Ooh. Yeah, definitely prefer persuasion. Performance? Right, D20. I'm not, what's the word?
Good at lying.
Proficient. Oh, well, that's a relief.
Deception.
19. But I'm not proficient. So that would be, is that wisdom or intelligence?
It is
Do you say
charisma
it's
normally.
Charisma? Oh, charisma. That works out just fine. That at least gets me a 26.
At 26. Okay.
Why is that flashing? Is that good or bad?
Because it always flashes.
I know. That's why I'm like, is that good or bad?
He just looks at you for a moment and lets it go.
Okay. So he knows I'm lying, but he's not going to ask questions in front of all the other people. That might come to me later.
Or may have seen something in looking at you.
Okay.
You know that line
I
you can
don't
occasionally
suppose
see
he
things.
notices the big Bahamut shield on my chest, right?
Quite possibly.
Yeah, okay. Alright, I will gesture for Zal and Cheval to ask questions of the Great Water Dragon. Because I'm pretty sure... I'm not sure about Cheval, considering she is... Oh, well, was once the epitome of fire, but...
Still has fire.
I know that as a cleric, at least, that Zal might be curious about some things.
I'm always happy to learn, expand my horizons and knowledge base. Given how much we've traveled and how much we've seen, and trying to not make the same mistakes.
He does talk about how the Ethengarian people originated on a far continent to the east, and having travelled across land bridges and come from the north and settled in the steppes north of Rockholm. Some of the people continued south into Ylaruam and were known as and became part of the Ylaruam people, which is where you have similar customs.
Mm. Now that is very fascinating.
Meaning he knows the origins of where the Ethengarians first started, which he refers to as the Genites.
Genites.
Yeah.
And they came from the north?
They came from the far east on the other side of Alphatia.
Oh.
Jammete. Like that.
You can always confirm it later, but I'm glad you at least started to spell it because I was spelling it so wrong.
I will pronounce it badly because that's what my brain does. So yes, he does give you an interesting tale to take back to your people because it would explain some of their customs.
Yeah.
And he says some of your ancestors still have descendants over there.
But do we speak a similar language, or has it evolved over time?
It has changed over the last 3,000 years, he says.
Interesting. It's definitely piqued my interest, for sure.
Does Chevelle have any questions?
I don't think sure about anything.
Not even about maybe Ethengarian peoples or something? It's not often we get to talk to a wise old NPC.
I mean, I don't know if there was a lot to talk about the Ethengarian people.
What about your own things? Like your own beliefs and things?
let's not get into my own beliefs, okay? My own beliefs are currently changing day by day. I have no idea what's going on with me. I am just broken and confused and I want to go home.
Well, that's what I mean. The dragon might be able to cast
Right.
enlightenment.
Dragon does ask, which home do you want to go to? That of your people or that of your god?
I don't know, but I at least want to protect the people who I'm with at the moment, so
He says
I'll stay here for now.
because
Dazed and confused.
your god is supported by the Norse, whereas your people follow a god you used to follow. I'm sure he'll notice at some point that you no longer follow him.
Yes, but I think if my people learn of the, I guess, almost misdeeds that this god has done in this quest to support the genocide of an entire nation, might change their tune on.
Unless you say which nation, in which case they will 100% throw themselves behind his genocide.
Well, he's supposed to be genociding the elves, right?
No, Galantry.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Technically, he's genociding everybody, but his main goal towards the one he tells his people is, I want to genocide Glantry. Yes, because helping the Master do that means that we also genocide the elves at the same time, and probably the entire world itself. Collateral damage?
Collateral damage.
I think I've got that pretty right. Is that right, Martin? Yeah.
He's looking for long-term solution, not short-term solution.
Yeah.
Alright, so I was getting confused on which support where yes, that makes.
I had a conversation with someone once about people with disabilities, and their solution to resolving the problem with people with disabilities was to either institutionalize them all or euthanize them all. Puts them out of their misery. I feel like this person that I had this conversation with has a lot in common with Ixion. It solves a problem satisfactorily to those who aren't disabled.
Though from what you did learn, Ixion was trying to stop magic from being taken from this plane of existence.
Yeah.
And Galantry is currently siphoning it off. And once siphoned, it may not return.
But surely there's another way to resolve that without killing everybody.
He tried.
What was that?
He tried to annihilate the god involved.
Oh, okay. And wasn't able to annihilate the god?
No, the T-Rex god said no and blocked him.
Okay. But what about not annihilating the god involved?
He told him to stop. He had the authority to do so.
Okay.
The other god, not being sponsored by another god, said no. He was under no obligations because he was not sponsored.
Okay.
Every other god who has been sponsored has to meet their obligations.
Why are you making it sound like the Ixion's the good guy now, and I'm starting to wonder if I'm the bad guy?
But Ixion
is the bad guy.
Ixion is doing so by wiping out everyone who knows the name Galantry.
That doesn't seem to be... If this conversation has been had with River, Calcris is like, how is that resolving the problem?
Because if no one knows what Galantry was doing, then no one will remember it.
Is there other alternatives to solving this problem aside from killing everybody?
Dragons would have gone with negotiation.
I think negotiation's not a bad idea.
Just that Ixion is used to having his word as law.
So the problem wasn't that Ixion failed in negotiations. He made a demand and then offered no compromise.
He issued ultimatums.
I see. So if the right people were to issue, to enter into negotiations, Glantry could be persuaded to do things differently?
That is uncertain because you're dealing with god personalities, and the god has been rebutted by one of his minions as far as he's concerned. And
I mean, and this is the problem. Like, this is where Zol gets stuck because like there's so many moral conundrums going on with Glantry and Ethengar and the gods that you're just like, well, you open one can of worms and you open 50.
I agree.
It's not a clean
be
war.
Draining the world of magic, but Calcrix is kind of like a case of surely there could be a compromise reached between these parties, and then, despairingly, if no compromise can be reached, what will happen to the world?
He is unsure because the dragons withdrew because the gods stopped listening.
What would happen
How
if
do
the
you
world
make
is...
the gods listen?
They withdrew to get their attention. They have been protectors of the region up until the gods had declared their actions.
What was that? Anton?
What would happen if the world is dragged of magic?
Everything that relies on magic would die.
Okay.
Calcrix.
But what I'm getting at
No
is
magical races, no
dragons.
no dragons, no elves,
No Chevelle.
no elemental affinities with people. Everyone just became plain.
Yeah. Rachel, after having his young teenage moment, he's going to walk back in after he just hearing the end of the conversation saying, and also I'll say, look, I've seen how the gods discuss stuff, and I look at Drazzle when I say that. Drazzle showed me what happened, and it's just wrong across the board. I said, I'm only a young dwarf, but I've still seen how no one seems to want to work together or come to a similar goal. They seem to all want to look after the little bit, and that's what frustrates me. And I said, I'm only a young dwarf, but it's whether this magic goes or not, it really kind of frustrates me how gods can't work together in some way, even if while some are good and bad or whatever else, they all have their thing, but they won't work together. And I say that out loud because it really frustrates me.
Follows that up with the road to war is paved with good intentions.
Yeah, but and just Mark knows this, I went through that time where we see all the gods together coming, and it's just since then Bradshaw really has not a affinity with gods. I respect gods, but I feel they've let me down a bit, kind of thing. What I've seen all the gods in that kind of big meeting I saw. So yeah, it's.
What if enough, like we as a group, we work together? What if we can get enough
and
people
I said,
to work?
and no offense to you, Caltrix, or other people here, but I saw this more with my previous companions, and it just seems to, to get rid of the common bad in the world, or whether you want to, or the other way around. It just seems to be, and this is where my disdain maybe comes to magic, and I'm just saying out loud kind of thing. So it's like, it's good, but it's also bad, if that makes sense. So.
Bradshaw, then why are you here if you feel we...
I don't know. I still don't know what my reason for being here is.
Well, Redrin doesn't agree with either group and wants to try to broker some sort of discussion, but he can't do so unless he can put a stop to like the Masters' War and potentially give Galantry enough breathing room that he can talk to their gods.
And this is why I support Redrin, because I feel we need to stop the Master and we need to try and open up that discussion.
And Redrin's also trying to find the device they're using to suck magic out of the world, because he knows what it is.
How do you find that device?
He's having people looking for the specific location, because once you get near it, you do not have long before the gods will intervene.
Similar to like a soul forge, but like a soul forge that that doesn't work on souls but works on magic?
Redrin had mentioned at one point that it is the full engine of his starship, not just the one that ignites the engines itself.
I see. That is worth knowing.
The main power plant of a intergalactic starship.
My main less question, more seeking confirmation in that case is, I gather by learning this watercraft and continuing to advance as hopefully a powerful and convincing negotiator, I will. That's the best thing I can do to try and get an outcome that will preserve this world and its magic.
Says yes, he has been in touch with some of the dragons on the Trugan Plateau, and they are looking for ways to limit the wars without major loss of life.
Those Trugan are scary, but also a lot of fun.
Yes.
Look at my pictures.
And he does say that if the dragons get involved, the war with the Master will go badly.
The dragons are already involved, aren't
They are not in the front lines.
Hopefully they'll stay on the sidelines.
They've been...
Oh, but does that mean the dragons are involved because I'm on the front lines?
They have gotten involved because you have been involved.
Does that mean I should withdraw?
Whether you withdraw or not, they're now already involved.
I'm a bit worried now.
But they are not in the front lines.
Okay. Is there something that we should be doing as a group? Like Cheval and Anton and Bradshaw and...
That will depend
Audrey
on
and
your
Zell?
week's training, he says.
It sounds like it's going to be a hard week.
He says because he has seen some potential futures.
Good thing I like reading.
And you
I
see...
wish there was this device that you could turn around and that you could just keep turning back time so that you could keep reading thousands and thousands of books and like go to lots of lessons at the same time, but that would be stealing from a different world setting.
He just looks at Drazzle and Drazzle just shrugs. You have a feeling Drazzle's done something like that.
Oh, I know Dressel's done something like that.
So we know it works.
Do you know who stole our 5 eggs so that we survived?
Wasn't it Zal and Cheval?
No.
Rodri?
Drazzle and Calcrix went in time and stole their own eggs from their own nest to make sure they weren't destroyed or left in the Worm's Teeth Mountains.
Or born before their time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cheval and Yodri and Zal freed Calcrix when she was enslaved by goblins at 3 months old.
Okay, so yeah, I'm not a priest at times, so I don't get how these paradoxes work. But
It's only a paradox if there is something left undone.
okay. And I'm taking it there isn't, otherwise the world will be falling apart.
If they leave something undone, they get erased.
Okay.
I have
And you
a
haven't been
friend-
erased, so you haven't got anything undone.
I have a friend who erases herself. I don't say that aloud,
Okay.
but I think it and look at the dragon.
The dragon just looks at you and shakes his head in one of those...
She's just
It could mean anything.
messing with time. You can do all sorts of things if you mess with time.
Drazzle says yes.
I know.
Hey, if we're pointing figures, I'm always pointing them at Drazzle.
I'm not being accusatory at all.
No. Calcrix means this in fun.
Okay.
Drazzle says in some timelines, Anton bad.
You told me that in every other timeline I'm dead.
Or Drazzle is.
What Drazzle is. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
killed my.
Can Rachel speak up now?
I have no
Yeah.
intention of doing anything like that, Drazel.
I feel like now's the time to pull out cake.
Rachel has one question to River before we
Yeah.
kind of settle for the night. He goes, but wouldn't with all the power of the dragons and getting other people involved, wouldn't be able to push back the master quicker? Because at the moment I feel where every time we try to push him back, he just gets more and more forward. I ask about that. So.
They respond to Bradshaw saying the dragons can be taken under control of the master if they get close enough.
And Calcrix clarifies and says the only dragon that is protected from the mind control of the master is Calcrix because she was blessed by the Lady of Darkness.
And can any of us be taken control of by the master?
Dragons are more susceptible than others.
Okay, more susceptible. That means we could be. Yeah, okay.
Normally
That's
others
why-
require death. Dragons do not require death.
And Bradshaw was thinking inside his head at the moment, he feels that we're sitting going backwards across everything that he's been saying over the years kind of thing. And
Well, it's why
Maybe-
dragons can't be on
yeah.
the battlefield because if they're on the battlefield, they'll start attacking their own
Yeah.
forces.
And Bradshaw kind of sighs when he, after the answer, is like,
What?
he feels that every time he's speaking to a higher identity, he just feels that they making up excuses and it's a young dwarf situation, being a young dwarf teenage, saying that he expects things to, he feels like every time he talks to an elder person, he seems to be pushed like one step forward, 3 steps back kind of thing, so that's more internal.
He does turn to Bradshaw and says the master has taken power from those which created the dragons. As
Yeah.
such, they have power over dragons.
Yeah, I'll say that. Look, yes, I know, it just frustrates me that we're not making any dent in his master.
would-
And I said, it frustrates me because I've had other friends die and go away, and it just means a lot to me that we still can't make that dent so we can finalise.
He has not
Oh,
taken.
well.
He's not destroyed the elves and become a god.
No, I know, but yeah.
Other
it's-
timelines
and
he
then-
would have done so already.
I would like to offer Bradshaw this hope. The dragons may not be able to be involved on the front lines, but the dragons are now, like the gemstone dragons, they're in Darrakan now making dragon-sized ballista for Darrakan to use against the master. So while they can't be on the front lines, they're certainly helping.
What would happen if the master
And more
becomes a
of
god?
them are coming to the fore.
All the elves will die.
Apart from that, we know that already.
There's another god in the world who celebrates destruction and death.
There's been a lot of those already.
No, that's corruption.
There's always a lot of gods who do stuff. There's a lot of fire gods. There are a lot of death gods. There are a lot of life gods.
And they all seem to be about war and destruction at the moment.
Because that is one of the paths to
That's-
immortality.
That's a good question. Who are the gods that are not negative forces? Who are positive forces?
Well, the biggest one would be Terra or Yamuga, the Yurt
Of
Dweller.
course, Salves.
She is the energy of the world and part of the life force that created the primal titans and those that came from them.
Calcrix beams at Zal and goes, "See, you made a good choice."
And has always been a positive aspect to the world of bringer of life. Then you have Odin, the god of knowledge. Being the top of that tree, incomparable to Terra. Ixion would normally fall up there as well as the god of sun and magic.
Because sun is usually life. But
And then you have Cronus, the god of time, who is a keeper of time to stop abuse.
has he kind of stepped back a bit though?
He is currently quite active.
Okay. That'll be the Drazelvani stuff, right?
Most people are prevented from abusing time.
Yeah.
He says, looking at Drazel with the word most.
Well, I don't think.
I reckon at this point, Eep's handed Drazzle a cookie, and Drazzle's like just munching on that cookie, looking as neutral as he can.
He doesn't look guilty at all.
Exactly.
He's quite happy.
Look, you've done. I think you've done nothing wrong at all. I get no.
Well, he sort of looks at you and says he knows Drazzle has changed thousands of things.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
But he also knows Drazzle has lived through the world's death thousands of times.
Yes. Which is why he gets another cookie.
Okay, that'd be pretty tough, Drazzle.
And a hug.
And sometimes just his death, he says, looking at Anton.
Look,
Poor Anton. So
says, your
cookie.
choices in this life is unlike your other lives, he says.
Okay. I'm really curious to know what I'm doing in my other lives.
On the other lives you have chosen to serve.
Okay.
This is the only life you have not chosen to serve.
You made the same decision I did.
Sorry, Mom, I was need to run away. I'm very
All good.
tired of today.
He pats Chauvel on the shoulder and says, you should you should rest.
Thanks, guys.
Sorry, I've been asking lots of questions because, well,
So he does
how often do you meet
say that you are
gigantic
different
dragon?
in this life because you've made your choice not to serve.
Okay. But yeah, there's so many questions I have, but you're getting to the heart of one of them. Look, I'll be honest. I lack purpose. What should I do?
Says there are many paths before you.
Yeah, I know.
Calvary? Oh, sorry.
He does say your friendship with Drazzle has opened many others.
Yeah. I can't see any of them though. But
Calcrix will look at you and she'll say, do you lack purpose? You've chosen to help us and you've chosen to fight against the Master. These are both purposeful.
And you have also chosen to oppose the Black Knight.
yeah.
You've chosen to do something
The more
different.
of his regalia you collect, the less likely another will be called.
You should pack those boots in a bag.
Yeah, okay. Pack the boots in a bag. It still sounds like it's a whole bunch of negative things. It's a whole bunch of refusals. It's not a...
It's a bunch
But
of choices.
refusal
He
can be
says.
a positive thing.
You choose to be a positive aspect in the world, not a negative one.
I heard wisdom from the real world that a person who chooses sobriety every day chooses sobriety, but they also choose not to drink, which is a negative thing, but it leads to a positive. So choosing not to serve as the Black Knight and not to be the Black Knight may seem like a negative thing, but it has a very positive result. Less people die as long as you don't stare at them too lethally. They were cultists. They were bad people.
Yeah, I kind of think that somebody else did that using me. That's my defence if I'm on trial.
He says you're not on trial.
I know I'm not on trial, but I feel like I am.
Ask the gnomes that you know you're on trial when you talk to gnomes.
Okay, I haven't talked to gnomes in a long time.
I feel sorry for you. Calcrix gives you a big hug.
Okay.
Hopefully
You're
you feel better.
rather big for big hugs. I'm not very big, remember.
I don't squish you. It's always
Okay, I know.
gentle. I'm very aware that humans break easily.
Yeah, and I'm
Well, all the non-dragons break.
I'm pretty scrawny too. So.
Except for Bradshaw, I can hug him as hard as I like.
Oh well,
Seems
Bradshaw's tough.
to- Well, he's a dwarf.
Yeah, it's true.
He does think that you'll have much direction shortly.
Okay, that's a hint. All right.
Yeah, when he says that, when River says that, I in my head going, I kind of have a kind of maybe I don't kind of believe what River says in some way. So yeah.
So when River says which?
He says to Anton that he'll have much direction shortly.
Still can't get away from the feeling of being a fool, but anyway.
He can
You're
give you
one
the
of
costume, he
wisest
says.
people I know.
Pardon?
You're one of the wisest people I know.
Do you know who I think the wisest person I know? Bradshaw.
Yeah, Bradshaw's pretty smart.
He is.
He's also very funny.
Yeah, that's true.
It's fun to play.
Maybe wisdom and comedy go together.
Not comedy.
Um,
Fun.
Fun and wisdom go together.
Fun is not to necessarily laugh at, but it is to find joy.
Mm.
Yeah.
He lets me.
Well, Bradshaw just
play.
listens to you guys say this and just in his mind going, River, when we have a chance, when no one's around, can we have a chat? I think I just say, because I assume that the River can hear my thoughts. So, yeah.
He can, and he gestures for you to come off to the side with him while the others continue to talk.
Yeah.
I'll pull out a cake.
So I'll just put it straight on the line with you are a quite old, intelligent dragon, but I have a feeling that I'm not 100% certain my direction based on what I learned when I was, went through my dwarven rituals and things like that, and I said, I just feel I need more advice. I'm quite young, as you know, in dwarf years, and I just don't feel I've had that kind of tutorage that I wanted kind of thing. And I'm not sure where to get that from, if that makes sense. So.
What sort of advice are you looking for? He knows much about the dwarven prophecies.
Sorry?
He says he's asking what sort of direction are you looking for. He does know much about dwarven prophecy.
Look, I'm looking, and I explained the situation of my granduncle that I met. It's going
Your grandfather?
Yeah. And I was just saying, look, I feel I need to... I understand some of the dwarven things that I've been told over the years. I just feel that something doesn't make sense to me, and considering they seem to be... And I just say, I'll be honest about this, and I said, and they seem to be very sheltered in their own world, where I think we should be more involved with the outer world. And I said, he's not a normal dwarf, but I feel like I need to talk to somebody that just gives me that idea of how I can try to translate that to my people kind of thing. So
he says the dragon god known as Kagya is very much about crafting, hoarding, and preserving. So as you has a lot to appeal to dragon kind, which is why dwarves covet much what dragons covet. He is instilling amongst his people a desire to protect, preserve, and withstand. So, given that, it will not be to his surprise if the dwarves all return home and turtle until after the time of war has passed. They are not one to stand against overwhelming forces and get wiped out. They are survivors, and they will survive.
Holy heck, aren't we supposed to convince them to fight with us against the master?
He says that would be unlikely.
And
I'm not in that conversation. I'm just thinking that out loud based off Tuesday group went to Rockholm to try and get them to help and helped them out, and if they're not going to help even though we've done their thing for them, then
I understand what you're doing. I understand why people are built that way. They seem like they'll look after certain components, but if that means that they have to be locked themselves on the ground, I know that I can't go down there to help them there at the moment, but I don't know, I want to change their view, but yes, I understand, but I said, honestly, I'm a young dwarf, but I want to save the world. I want to make things better. And I said, but I feel like it's against my ego to the dwarf, that's all. So
he feels that as the age you are now, that is appropriate. But if you had have graduated and returned home a full adult, you would probably be compelled to do as they do. Because that is part of the nature the goddess has instilled into them.
I wonder if there's a way to change that.
The goddess specifically built them that way.
Yeah, but I mean, in this sense, their whole world is being threatened. And if they try to hoard themselves like that, they may just...
Well, they're going for survival, not for...
if I understand things, they may die. But, yeah.
Considering that I think the other way, and you've been around for many, many years, I believe, River. I don't know myself, and what I'm trying to do is this. I know, I might change my view, but am I going against my race and why am I thinking? So I'm young and all that, and I'm adventurous and I want to learn the world, but I just see things being better if we helped out, but I don't know. Am I trying to change too much? I just say it that. So.
He says what you're asking of them, the dwarves will never do. They will help, but not at risk to themselves. Their god is likely to tell them to bury themselves deep if the master makes it to the forest, or if Alphatia makes it to this continent.
I wonder if someone could talk to the god to get the god to change his mind.
He just laughs, saying,
Oh, no, I'm not in the conversation. I can't be involved in this.
If someone was to try to talk to the god, they'd probably find themselves agreeing they should bury themselves underground of the dwarves.
I don't know. He'd have a hard time with Calgreens.
Yeah, look, as I said, it's some kind of, and this is where my difference between my race is kind of, I want to help and try to make things better, but I'm not sure if it's going to be against me where I get shunned from the whole race.
He does say you have more of a spirit of a halfling than you do of a dwarf.
Yeah, my wife's told me that, unfortunately, and her family has mentioned it a couple of times.
Maybe you're influenced by your wife.
Because maybe you might be happier as a halfling than a dwarf.
Or at least happier living with the halflings.
It's dangerous thoughts.
He does say it would be very sorrowful for a dwarf to live amongst halflings, for he will exceed their lifespan by many. He'll be watching the equivalent of his pets die on a regular basis, because they are such short-lived in comparison to him.
Yes, I know, and I know my wife is quite adventurous, as you probably have heard of in the past. Assume that you have. I don't know, I just feel sometimes I need these chats with people that outside, and thank you for listening anyway.
And he does know of magic that can make you of the same type as your wife, if that is your decision.
No, look, I respect my wife, I don't want to, and I respect her as a halfling, but
well, he does give you warning that should you achieve your god's paradise, you will never meet your wife in it.
I'm fully aware of that.
And if you don't meet your god's paradise, you still won't see your wife in it, because the dwarves are pretty much locked into two afterlives.
Sounds like someone's hinting that you may want to change races.
Oh no, I don't want to change races, but I feel that what I see my life direction might differ from what my race direction is. And while I don't want to be a halfling, I still want to help people, because I feel that's something that's been brought into me. And I said, and I don't try to discriminate too much, except for
many halflings feel as you do, so you would be one amongst them.
Look, if Calcrix knew all this, you would find you have a lot in common with her. She is a dragon who's choosing to be very undragon-like. She doesn't kill all the humans she comes in contact with, or all the non-dragons she comes in contact with. She likes being around them, that kind of thing. She's very anti-dragon.
So what I was going to ask her was, is there anything else I just, because I appreciate the talk today, but over my travels I wouldn't mind talking to other people who can is mentoring the side of things that I'm not sure if it's the right word, because as I said, I'm not really at the back of my home or anything like that. And
he suggests having a long talk with the god of the gnomes. Gal Glitterlode.
Okay.
Are you going to have to spell that at some point, or at least...
G-A-R-L.
G-A-R-L.
Yeah. Okay, and I said, thank you, I appreciate it. As I said, it's just trying to...
For if anyone can understand the stubbornness of dwarves, it is the one who created the gnomes.
Yes, and I think where my castle is kind of thing, or my castle king? Yeah. A couple of them, my people down there have mentioned that to me, but I just kind of maybe put it aside too much. But thanks for the time, I appreciate it. And
plus, he would also be very supportive of you breaking tradition. And
Yeah,
you
I
just
know. I'm trying to keep it, as I said, I'm trying to keep everyone happy, but I feel at one stage or other I'm going to have to make the call on something, that's all. So.
And you do get a lot of grumbling from Whelm at this stage because Whelm is completely in support of Kagya, not in support of Garl.
So Kagya
Yeah,
is
I know.
a dwarven god, not a dragon god?
Kagya is the dwarven god who created the dwarves.
Sorry, I thought you said dragon before, not
The dragons do understand him. And he is followed by some of the dragon
my race is
craftsmen.
too big to get this out.
But he is the dwarven god.
I really need to
Yeah,
get my hearing aid
So,
repaired.
and I tell you, as I understand, I'm doing a fine line here, but I want to, I'm trying to please everyone, but I'm not sure which direction. I don't know where I'm going to have to finally step left or right.
It says you'll have to choose a line at some point, and
I know.
some will not like it, such as your hammer, he says.
Yeah, and yes, well, I do respect your thoughts, don't worry, I'll say it out loud. But as I said, okay. Thank you for listening, I just had to get off my chest, I said. It's hard to talk to other people about that, so. So anyway, I'll head back to the rest of the party, so.
He does say he had expected the conversation, so he had prepared some thoughts.
Thank you. And is it okay if I just give you a pat on the dragon leg?
Well, he's currently in the form of an elf, so that
Oh,
was
sorry.
interesting.
Yeah, I'm just trying to say thank you for the best way I can. So.
He holds out his hand.
I shake, yeah.
And then he returns to the others and check if Anton had any further questions.
River, does anything ever surprise you?
Yes.
Really?
He can't see all things. If he was to see all things, then could you imagine having to say everything at the correct time, in the correct way, with the correct speed, or stepping in the correct space?
Yeah, that's a burden no one would want.
If you can see your own future, you are bound by the future you see. You must always do what you see.
If you had to retrace your footprints exactly in the sand as you made them, would you be able to do it?
And you can make a slight mistake by just having your muscle in the wrong point.
Okay. Sounds like seeing the future's a curse.
Only if you see your own. You can see others and not your own. You can see where they overlap yours as long as you're not
So
staring
how do
too
you
closely
avoid
at
seeing
yours.
your own?
You choose not to.
Okay. But
Occasionally-
you could be seeing something else's future and then seeing you in it without realising that you're going to see yourself.
As long as you don't pay attention to what you do in that future, you're not bound to it. You have to choose not to focus. As much as you choose not to do certain things, or not to listen. And also not to tell people their futures.
Yeah. Roscoe, did you hear that? No.
That is different, that is a possible future.
Ah, okay.
Were it to come from Drazzle, that it would happen or you have to make it happen.
I know. I understand that. So, Drazzle never makes predictions.
Oh, he does, just very rarely.
I know.
There's a Dragon Ball called Naomi who, no, not Naomi, Nadar. Nador?
Nadar.
Yeah. And yeah, it's a very memorable moment when Drazzle chooses to give someone a prophecy.
Okay.
Well, he did tell someone in Wednesday night's group that they would be hunted by what they hunt.
It's somewhat cryptic, though.
And then they found out they were being hunted by Orcus and Orcus's followers after hunting some pigs.
Hunting some what?
Wild pigs.
Oh. Because Orcus is kind of like based off...
He's also a patron of pigs.
Yeah.
Sucks to be adventure, right?
Well, each group has had Orcus feature in it.
Okay.
Which is why said Orcus has been sitting on the tables.
Yes, well, we know. I'm surprised he hasn't actually featured since you pulled him out of the box in some manner or another.
Yeah, well, I had a bit of a chat with him.
Yeah, you did.
So he has featured, just not as heavily as he could have.
Yeah.
If he was to make it into the combat round, then it would be rather devastating.
Yeah, well, that's like if he did, I'd hope it was against the people we were fighting, not against us.
He did say he doesn't. He is opposed to the master because the master threatens him as well.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly.
I think the master wants control of his people
Yeah.
and his things.
And the master may be trying to steal some of Orcus's domain.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure Orcus is not a person who parts with anything that he thinks of as his.
A lot of gods don't share well.
Gosh, I've got to remember not to keep saying that name because it just invites this.
You're going to hear a deep voice at some point and go, "You called?"
Exactly. So let's
It's
drop the
almost
name.
as bad as damning, the same
Yeah.
sorts of people.
Why, Orcus? Okay, you said so.
Or calling out. I'm guessing Zal doesn't have any questions, wants to do any roleplay with the dragon on her own, on his own, sorry. Like Bradshaw and Anton?
I can't think of anything right now, and I'm also pretty tired, so,
I'm pretty tired too.
Okay, then I will put it to end credits unless Cal Creeks would like to ask anything further. One
I
last
can
thing for the
always
night.
leave it till next session.
And next session, a week will have passed.
Oh, well,
We got past, okay.
So you can ask your questions, but you'll have what happens after the training.
so I can ask them next session rather than prolonging the session.
You can, yes.
I don't want to impose on people, so I'm happy to wait.
Okay, so I shall go to end credits. Where is it? There it is.